Yeah, good luck getting her little stupid sound feed freaking head. What's this and the who's this and the, yeah.
We caught, there were some fragments of that were words. I'm not sure how many the recording caught, but some of them. Where are you this morning?
Yeah, please tell me you're not in the car again.
Yes, but it's only temporary today. I had to pick up something from the hardware store. Now I'm on my way back.
Excellent.
Excellent. Yes.
So you just want to make sure we're not talking about you while you're not here.
Well, I would encourage you to exactly talk about me. The more people talk about me, the better.
No, that's
Good, bad, indifference. There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Well, your friend did say that she did miss talking to you two, so you two have made another friend.
Well, I mean, we knew that from the get-go. It's obvious we were meant for each other. She just grew up on the wrong continent.
Well, she meant both of you, not just you.
Yeah, but she really meant me.
I don't think so. I don't think that was the case.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
A show where we discuss tips, tricks, and tools to help all Guardians succeed and enjoy playing more.
What makes us different? Well, for starters, we're not streamers or YouTubers. We just have a passion for Destiny and are dedicated to keeping Guardians informed and up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 info, news, and opinions.
We encourage your questions and feedback. You can contact us either by email at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com or on Twitter at twotitans_hunter.
Now, on with the show.
My wife got me these pegboards because I have storage problems, right? And I had to remove these dinky little clear, ugly plastic shelves to put up the pegboards so I can rearrange all these things. And you guys caught me in the middle of doing that, so now I have one pegboard up.
How have we caught you in the middle of doing that? This is the podcast time every week.
We caught you. We unexpectedly told you the same thing that happened last week was going to happen this week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Totally out of the blue. Totally unexpected.
Exactly. I'm glad. See, Peroty gets it, right? You're the only one not on board, Demon. And Codebreaker. Wow, we got a lot of first-time chatters today. Yo, I love listening to you guys every week. Y'all are the reason I still play this game even after losing my whole clan and losing all interest in playing this game. Yo, you just have the wrong clan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, no,
I know the clan.
They'll be back.
That's a really good clan. And the name starts with an F, and it's not Frozen.
It ends in chat.
Yeah. But no, I mean you just have the wrong clan, dude. You need someone that's gonna support your insanity, right? And that's why if you come to our Discord and you hang out in our Discord, you'll see that not only do we support your insanity, I encourage it with Respawn's Box of Shame. It's a place where you can go and just say whatever the hell you want, regardless of anything, right? There's no shame in that room. You want to go in there and blow off steam, somebody piss you off, doesn't matter. Whatever you want, it goes in that room. We support you. So if you want to come back to the game, send us a freaking friend request. Tell them you're a listener of the show. They'll ignore it for about a week because you told them you were a listener of the show. But eventually you'll be in, and you can come and hang out with us. No matter what time zone you're in. Me and Peroty and Nitedemon all have... We each have one slice of the 24-hour time zone. So one of us will be on almost all the time.
Some of that is true.
Yes, some of those words are absolutely correct.
Yes.
We'll leave it to you, dear listener, to figure out which of those words. That's the puzzle.
Right.
Anyway, let's welcome people to the show. So welcome to Respawn's Twitch, and welcome anybody else that's listening anywhere else in the world on the podcast. I am Nitedemon, joined, as always, by Respawn and Peroty. Yeah, that's it.
And this is where we leave the pause to make him go, did I cut out? Are you still here?
No, I was talking to the chat. You want me to
he's got his button sorted out this week. He can talk to the chat.
He did it. It's a miracle.
That doesn't mean that he's got it sorted every week.
So do you press a bobblehead to talk to the chat? Do you have the Stream Deck bobblehead set up? Like do you smack Savala's head to mute this audio and then talk to your chat, and then smack Kate to go back to this one? Because if not, you should.
Peroty,
Opposite way round.
I'm gonna preface this by saying two things. Number one, I hate you. Number two, you're a goddamn genius. Because now I need to set up bobblehead stream options.
The bobblehead buttons, yeah.
Yeah. I got enough of them. I have Arizona, not Australia. Oh, when I see AZ,
What-
bro, my mind defaults to
Well, while he's
Australia.
Same place.
busy talking to his chat and
Sorry.
pegging at the same time,
Not pegging.
we'll
I
kick
take
off our
breaks from
action
pegging.
packed show this week
Yes.
with some what's happening next week in Destiny. So we can free Sadia from her taken possession in the corrupted Nightfall. You can earn bonus rewards in your Nightfall. So extra loot, I guess, from going up against one of the hardest Nightfalls. That's good. And Lord Shax brings Mayhem back to the Crucible. So all the supers all the time.
Delightful!
Any tips for Mayhem, Peroty?
Throw more grenades, throw more supers. That's the one time to play your hunter and just throw ice tornadoes at everybody. Because you can just throw the ice tornado, sit back, and let it do its job. Don't have to do anything else.
Well, you could put
Well,
on your exotic gauntlets, couldn't you? The Shards of Galanor, and just keep twirling in midair. Because every time you get a super, proc it and hit somebody else and get another super. Yeah.
This is
100%
true.
intellect, go to town.
Mm-hmm. Or one thing I did last time or the time before is bottom tree, void, titan. And you can just throw shields forever. You could just basically spam shields like you're Captain America on crack. It doesn't matter where they're going. Just throw shields at people. They'll bounce around and find something.
Do you put on the Doomfang pauldrons for that?
I can't remember if I was running Doomfang or if I was running something else, but I think I'm not even sure that it matters. I think it refills your shield so quickly, and you get the 2 shield throws at a bottom tree. You can just spam it. You don't even have to think about it. Just throw shields. I'm just happy that they've taken Mayhem and Iron Banner and divorced those two. I didn't like having to choose each week if I want to do one or the other, because I want my pinnacle gear out of Iron Banner, but I want to just spam supers at people, because what's not to love about that?
Yeah, it seemed to be an equal amount of rotations, didn't it, for the whatever it was in Crucible. So then Mayhem would then come back around to be with, it would either be that or Iron Banner, and it didn't make any sense. It's like, can we try something different against Iron Banner just to see what the population would really like to do?
Yeah, and I wonder if, again, in sort of our mid-season crossover, I can't remember if that's when it changed or if it changed a little bit before that. But I wonder if they're going, let's throw different game modes together and just see what the community plays more of, what people are liking more.
Yeah.
Or if they're just like, it's an algorithm, it's random. Who knows? I don't know if we're giving Bungie extra credit or not giving them enough credit.
And I do believe there is a triumph for the corrupted Nightfall to destroy Sadia within 2 ball throws. So I know it can be done on the lowest setting, a bit like this week's Nightfall. You can melee 9 shanks to get that triumph done in the Nightfall, but you have to wait for it to be in the rotation for it to count. You can't kind of just do it in a strike. It has to be the Nightfall for that week, put it on the lowest setting, and just hope and pray you can kind of do it. And I think you can, but I do believe it's going to be, I think it was 2 ball throws. I can't remember what the actual thing is. I was looking at it the other day because in my mind, with these Nightfalls that we've got in the rotation this season, might not be in the rotation for next season. There might be 6 others or however many Nightfalls they put in the rotation. And they're always kind of different. And then if, for instance, they don't come back up or they sunset them or it goes into the Destiny content vault without kind of coming back around to be a Nightfall, you've then kind of lost out the opportunity to get that triumph done. Okay, so it's called Relic Rumble. Complete the Nightfall Strike the Corrupted by defeating Sadia using no more than 2 relics. So I'm guessing that's just those balls that we throw at her at the beginning. And I know people have melted her, I think with Sleeper Simulant in the last couple of months that we've had this Nightfall up. So Particle Deconstructor on your class item, and I hope that everybody can shoot her in the head all at the same time in that first area. I've seen it been accomplished, so I know it's something that can be done. Just that I haven't managed to do it just yet.
Yeah, there's a number of those. I was hunting those a couple seasons ago.
What do you want to hear next? Do you want to hear Eververse or do you want to hear Lost Sectors? Dealer's choice.
Let's do Eververse first because I mean, what I mean, I've been picking up my 700 free Bright Dust every single week, as I'm sure everybody else has from the store. Every Tuesday at reset, it's 700 Bright Dust through the rest of the season. So you got a couple more weeks. So I've been stockpiling my Bright Dust. Tell me, what should I be spending it on? What beautiful things or silly emotes should I be buying?
Well, for the 18th of January, which is week 7 in the rotation, we have for silver the Spinning Juggler for 1000 silver. That's your exotic emote. We have the Sidearm Smackdown, which is a silver only item this season, which is 800 silver, and that's a finisher. Then we have some exotic gear for your ornaments for different classes. So for the hunters, we have the ornament for the Omni Oculus, which will be 600 silver, and this will be for all of them, called the Leering Marrow. For your exotic Titan boots, the Paths of the Burning Steps will be the Alighted Steps. And for the Warlocks, the exotic chest piece, the Mantle of Battle Harmony, will be the Rosin Drone. You have your Ghost, which is the Monstrous Shell, for 600 silver. And for your Bright Dust, we have the B-Ball Hero for 3,250 Bright Dust, that's your exotic emote. Your rare emote is Oh Hello for 400 Bright Dust. Your legendary Transmat is Cellular Division for 450 Bright Dust. Burnished Reed is your legendary shader for 300 Bright Dust, and that's from the 30th anniversary set. We have the I Like That legendary emote for 700 Bright Dust. Magnetic Attitude legendary emote for 700 Bright Dust. The Almost Mighty Shell, which is your exotic ghost shell that looks like the Almighty from Year 1. The big ship that the Cabal came in on that was going to destroy our sun, for 2,850 Bright Dust, so that's a really old one come back. We have the Atlas Hauler, which is your exotic ship, for 2,000 Bright Dust. We have the Viper 4S, which is your exotic Sparrow, for 2,500 Bright Dust. The Dead Man's Revenge weapon ornament for the Dead Man's Tail for 1,250 Bright Dust. Now, I've seen a lot of people talking about this one, that it makes the sight a lot clearer. So maybe this is worth picking up if you've got a spare bit of Bright Dust there. And then finally, your Ghost Projection, which is the Red Legion Projection for 1,500 Bright Dust. And then don't forget, next week in our Bright Dust, because I'm really excited about it, is the Game Ghost Shell for 2,850 Bright Dust. So that'll be on sale next week, especially for Respawn there if he hasn't already bought it with silver. And then next week, the ornaments that are available this week in the silver store will be available for Bright Dust next week. So we've got the Hunter ornament for the Athris's Embrace, the Wrong Hands, the Titan ornament, which is the Comet Stirs in Dreams, which is for the Curus of the Falling Stars, and the Phoenix Fall, which is for the Phoenix Protocol. That's all going to be available next week for 1,500 Bright Dust. So if you're looking at them this week thinking, shall I purchase them on silver? Wait till the following week, and they'll be available. And then the ones that are available this upcoming week that I've just said to you are going to be available the week after, in week 9, starting on the 1st of February for some Bright Dust. So if you can wait, you can get some of these good stuff just for some Bright Dust. And as Peroty said, pick up your free Bright Dust every week. You've got 1,400 Bright Dust. You can get some of these ornaments and stuff. So yeah.
And if you don't like these, just wait. Witch Queen is coming, and there will be more ornaments. There's silly things to buy.
Yeah.
More slow dances to be
popular
had.
things.
More video games
Yeah.
to play.
Now, one thing I don't know is that with my logic of if it's in the Eververse store and it's for that season, if I just keep playing the game and I get the Eververse engrams to drop as and when through my battle pass, as it were, and I get the items to drop from previous seasons, is the 30th anniversary stuff that's now in the Eververse store part of that kind of collection? So when the Witch Queen comes, are we then potentially, is that stuff being then put in the loot pool? I don't think that's something that Bungie actually kind of clarify. I know like the seasonal events don't go into the rotation, so you won't be able to get any of those things like from the Dawning or season Festival of the Lost and things like that. because they just come around yearly. But I'm guessing the 30th anniversary stuff will be then put into the loophole of what can be attainable.
Are they though, or are they going to say, this is, I mean, this is content they sold and said, if you want this content, you will have to buy it. Do you think they'll put some of those cosmetics into the loophole? Just, hey, you can get some of the cosmetics from this, but the activities will still be unavailable to you unless you throw down your hard-earned money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That like the cosmetic stuff for the Eververse, I know that they it does go into the Eververse at some point, but I don't know when. Is it like the following season, or do you have to wait a couple of seasons, kind of thing, for it to then be available to drop? I mean, not that it matters, if but hey,
If it matters to you, it matters to other people. Maybe they've been waiting to get it. They don't need their Galahorn, or they didn't want to spend the money on the 30th anniversary, but they want something. They want the cosmetics from it. But yeah, I imagine too it'll go at some point, but we'll see.
Yeah.
At least Bungie has said the 30th anniversary stuff doesn't go away when Witch Queen is coming. So don't think you have to get things done or grind for the things you want by the Witch Queen drop. So it'll still be around then. But yeah, the cosmetics they'll show up at some point.
So, if you want some of those cool exotics to put those ornaments on that are available in the Eververse store, you need to go in the Lost Sectors.
Hello!
So next week's rotation for the Lost Sectors, we have Monday the 17th of January, will be the Empty Tank Tangled Shore Lost Sector, giving you your legs. And don't forget, that is the legendary one on Monday's rotation, so when it rotates out on Tuesday, that will then become the Master. It will become a lot harder to accomplish, but it will still give you legs, and it's a higher chance at getting the exotics to drop in the Master Lost Sector than it is the Legendary. But the Legendary is slightly easier. They do have champions in there, so be careful. So Tuesday the 18th of January will be the K1 Logistics on the Moon, giving you your arms. Wednesday the 19th of January will be the K1 Communion on the Moon, giving you your chests. Thursday the 20th will be the K1 Crew Quarters on the Moon, giving you helmets. Friday the 21st will be the K1 Revelations on the Moon, giving you your legs. Saturday the 22nd will be the Concealed Void on Europa, giving you your arms. Sunday the 23rd will be Bunker E15 on Europa, giving you your chests. Then back round to Monday the 24th will be the Perdition on Europa, giving you your helmets. And we have guides from PV Shifty and Time Sausage Gaming for that. And check out Legionless channel and Ebontis for any other guides. And as we said the last couple of weeks, Ebontis have really been putting a lot of effort into doing some guides for new players coming into the game, looking at what they can actually get and what they can achieve with the weapons and the loadouts that they've got. So go and check him out.
Now that we've gotten them through the Dares of Eternity and they can actually play the rest of the game.
Yeah. And Ebontis, I'm sorry for what I did to you in the Iron Banner, but you should have been playing a Titan. That's your fault.
I'm surprised he was in the Iron Banner at all, to be honest. He doesn't go there. He doesn't live in the PvP lands.
He might not have been, but there was somebody with the name Ebon.
He probably got drugged in by a buddy being like, "Oh, come play Iron Banner." He'll be like, "Sure, I'll be there too."
That sounds fun. Well, I wonder what this button does. But yeah. Anyway, no, talk about that ghost shell. Yo, that ghost shell is the best investment you'll ever make. I don't care if you use it with silver, with bright dust.
Have you already bought it?
I bought it the second I saw it, dude. I could not pass that up. I mean, it looks like a flippity flopping GameCube / Game Boy / console. It's amazing. I love it. It's beautiful. It's the most beautiful.
If you'd have
thing
waited,
Bungie's
you could
ever
have just bought it for Bright Dust next week.
But I bought it now. I have it now.
Patience is definitely not one of your virtues, is it?
Well, I've already told you guys, I do not mind. As long as I have the money, I will reinvest in Bungie. I don't mind. Not even a little bit.
I'm reinvesting. Peroty's reinvesting. We're keeping the player numbers up by playing every day, every week.
Yes. Because that's what matters.
It is.
Uh-huh.
Keeping
Yeah,
the
not
game
putting money
alive.
in their pockets or anything. Yeah, no.
I do. I give them money every now and then.
Look. I'm not telling everyone to go out there and spend it on silver. I'm saying that was the best silver I've ever spent. That's all I'm saying. Hey, Phoenix. Not your Phoenix. A risen Phoenix.
Yes, I get that.
Could be the same. You don't know.
It could have been his son. I don't know.
He could have been your son.
Could be everyone's but my son.
I did text him earlier this week and said, your son has just come out with one of the most classic things I've ever heard.
And he threw me off. I'm like, wait, because my son does play Destiny and he has access to the Discord. I'm like, wait, were you playing with Alex?
Like, Phoenix came out with that he wants to go to Japan and be a gangster. I mean, what kind of logic is this?
Look. To be fair, I had a similar
This is
dream
Respawn
until
logic.
I dated a girl that was from there, and then I learned a lot about the Yakuza and how they function. So the kid's not wrong, right? Let him live his dream. He can be a gangster. He can be a gamer. He can be whatever he wants, man. Your job as a parent is to support him financially and mentally until his dreams fail.
He's not going to go to Japan. He's not going to become a gangster. He doesn't even leave his bedroom.
Wow, you're being awfully judgy right now. I'm just saying.
It means he actually has to get up and do something, which means he won't do it.
Phoenix, if you're listening to this episode, I believe in you and I support you, even if your father doesn't. Or your father doesn't.
But now that we've got through all of that, we had a hot fix this week, didn't we, Peroty?
We did have a hot fix this week.
And he's
Which
clicking
I totally forgot because
quickly
it seems like
to
it
get
was.
to it.
Well, no, it's just up on the other tab. I was like, I honestly forgot it was this week. It felt like a long time ago.
It did, yes.
It is a slow week, isn't it? It's so weird, man.
Well, it's only a slow week if you don't have things to do. There's plenty of things to do.
Sorry,
I just
hang on a
haven't had time to
second.
do them.
Can I just go back to what he's just said? It's been a slow week.
Yeah.
So you haven't read the hotfix, you haven't seen the trailer, and you haven't read the TWAB.
So first of all, I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
Second of all, I watched the TWAB.
I told you he'd watch the TWAB, didn't I? I told you he would watch the TWAB.
Which I only knew.
Why
because
read it when it has the cross-specified for me, man? That doesn't make any sense.
Words are hard.
Words are hard, man. I'd rather listen than read.
That's why you join us every week. So yes, we had our hotfix 3.4.0.2, and we had a few fixes, I guess. So Crucible, they fixed an issue with the Iron Banner and Momentum Control playlist where capture zones on a certain map did not reward super energy and show zones captured text. They also improved the Iron Banner freelance node, now properly displaying the longer respawn time settings.
Yeah, so if you want longer respawn, that's where you go, to the Iron Banner freelance.
And not to this podcast.
Yep. And this is where they also fixed the Dares of Eternity. They lowered the recommended power level to 1100. So, maybe if you're starting to play the game, you could actually do that. They also fixed an issue where players could be launched into Dares of Eternity before acquiring a heavy weapon entirely. So, I'm not sure what kind of Star Horse favor you get if you don't have a weapon. I mean, maybe just like powers up your hand and you can punch things to death. I don't know. The additional physics are also cleaned up between rounds, prevent crashing from long dares sessions. So hopefully if you're just sitting there grinding dares, your game will no longer crash on you, or at least will crash on you less. They also fixed an issue where rewards level platinum, etc. will be displayed at the end of the activity in regular difficulty, which it shouldn't be. Oh, look, they fixed something in Presage. It doesn't say made it easier to jump across the beginning puzzles, though.
No.
But it did fix an issue preventing players from interacting with data pads in the Presage exotic mission. Data pads and their connected compartments and chests now must be accessed in order as the player moves through the Glycon. In addition to this fix, the weekly lockout for earning lore pages was also removed. So players will now earn one lore book page per activity completion without any weekly lockout. This should allow players to finish the lore book in the remaining weeks before Witch Queen launches. So if you've been trying to get your lore book done, you should be able to do that.
Yeah, so what that basically means is that you could basically run it all through in one day, and as long as you're following the data pads with opening them in the right order with where they are in the game, you'll be able to do it all in one day, unlike the rest of us that had to wait for, I think, something like 12 weeks to actually get it done. Each data pad we had to do each week, and if we missed a week, you then have to wait a week. But at the end of it, they did give you a golf ball. I'm not sure if that's still the case. In that final room, there was a golf ball available, so yeah.
Well, you can take up golfing after you put yourself through that. They did fix some things in the dungeon, the Grasp of Avarice. an area where the players can go to environments in the sunken layer have been fixed, and they added geometry to prevent exploding an encounter by completing it without engaging its mechanics.
So
Yeah, but
this was the
broke
video that I
colorblind
posted.
mode.
This was the video that I posted last week. Well, Cheese posted last week, which I referenced in our show notes to go and check out. So if you wanted to kind of bypass the servitor area of launching up into the man cannons and things. But our good friend, Froggy, has made a new video this week showing you a different way out and showing you where they've blocked it off and showing you what they've actually done. The box that they had the enemy in that's behind the map is still there, but they've made it bigger, and you can't destroy the enemy from outside, but there's a way of getting one player inside the box to kill the enemy. So it does require 2 players this time. But I've got a video for you in the show notes if you're interested.
Of course.
Oh, love it. I love the
Froggy's a madman, dude. Like, oh my god, he's all like, "Oh, you think you stopped me, huh? Ha ha ha! Hold my beer." That dude is a madman, dude. I'm telling you.
Now, if you are hunting your lost sectors, they fixed an issue where some of the champions in the Chamber of Starlight lost sectors were not counting toward the total for the purpose of calculating rewards, allowing players to skip them and still achieve platinum. So if you were enjoying extra platinum in your Chamber of Lost Starlight, not anymore.
Ooh.
They fixed an issue in the public event where rally flags were not fully regenerating super energy for supers in the longer cooldown tiers. So yeah, if you're trying to do public events and you weren't getting your super that we talked about last week or 4 weeks ago when we last talked about Destiny, that should be working now. They did update the, I'm just going to say all the colorblind modes because those are long words and I will absolutely stumble over all of them.
So no, stumble. Do chop and up, chop and up, and chop and up.
Those ones.
The Triceratops, the Proceratops, and the Deuceratops. Mm-hmm.
Yep, those two.
Yep. Those
so my
problem, we're all fixed.
We're
they
not
also
no, they were not. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But they fixed an issue where some emblems were not displaying properly, and they fixed an issue where some emblems were not displaying correct artwork. So they updated them, but they updated them poorly. Because I did see that they said some colorblind modes are broken. I'm like, oh, Respawn had those couple weeks of the game working well, and then it said, mm-mm. So which Triceratops colorblind are you, and what are you seeing now in the game?
I'm Tri-10s. Nope.
Seeing T-Rexes instead of Triceratops.
That one. Yeah, I'm the Tri. Right, I'm the bottom one with the yellow color blindness. Right. So what that does is it's supposed to make my health bars pink. It does not. It makes them gray now. Initially, when they first broke it, right, everything was working fine in PvE, and PvP was broken that everybody had gray. I'm like, all right, fine. I'll just turn it off for right now, right? So I turned it off, and then today when I went back to PvE, I turned it back on, and not today, last night when I did the raid, and they messed it up in all kinds of different ways now. So now I have my pink bars back, right? But now all of the bars that used to be red are all gray. I'm just like, are you kidding me? What the hell, man?
Well, so I think it's just actually it's actually a hunter perk at this point. It's just highlighting the things you really need to kill, and just deprioritizing everything else with a gray bar. Like, oh, those are just gray bars. You don't need to worry about them. The pink bar is all you need to kill. Everybody else just can't be bothered with them.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, the pink bars obviously are the most important, but like when you're getting shot by something that's gray and blending into the background, because I mean, I know it's a really bad way to do it.
Shoot back at it.
You can't always see it though. These things blend sometimes.
No,
man.
What you're saying is you can't. What do you mean you can't see it? You can shoot the enemy. You don't have to shoot the bar. You shoot the enemy. Ignore
the bar is how you locate them. That bright red. They're like, bam! Here I am. And I'm like, oh, no, bright red.
You're doing
Let's take care of that.
It's not the movement of the creature.
No, I actually have a hard time seeing movement in this game, man. Yeah.
Well, now they made it even harder.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. It's like, no, they didn't fix anything. It's broken. It's just broken different now.
To be fair, they said
they fixed it.
Well, no, they said they updated them. They didn't say they fixed them.
Oh,
they updated them. So
nice verbiage, Destiny. Good job, guys.
They changed them, whether it's fixed or not. They've been updated. They just made the box around the colors bigger. That's all.
So for your gameplay and investment, we have the armor. They fixed an issue where the Icefall Mantle could be activated immediately after the Glacial Guard fell off the Titan. For your weapons, they added a guaranteed drop of the Dreaming City weapons from completing the Buy and Well event, which I thought they'd already done. So either they didn't do them or they didn't do it properly, and they're only
That's
just
probably the
admitting
right
it.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They really added the guarantee drop this time.
really. They
Yeah.
fixed an issue where the Forerunner's catalyst
Fingers
was
crossed
missing a
behind their back.
description string when viewed in the exotic catalyst menu. They fixed an issue where the Forerunner would spawn in with 11 ammo in PvP, which was really hurting a lot of people when running Sidearm Reserve mods. And the Sidearm Reserve mods have now been re-enabled. They fixed an issue where the Poison Wing Spreads ornament for Le Monarque had an arrow permanently knocked when stowed. And they fixed an issue where the Braytech M6 ornament for the Forerunner caused the weapon's reticle to shrink when aiming down sights.
Just means it's more accurate, that's all.
That's not what that does?
They've also fixed an issue where the Grey Hornet Sparrow left its left pipe wouldn't fire.
So does that mean you just had to ride in a circle to right over and over again because only your right pipe was firing?
I guess
Couldn't
so.
go forward instead?
They fixed an issue where the Shadow Shot and Silence and Score supers were not in the corrective cooldown tiers, which I think a lot of people noticed, but Bungie didn't say anything about. They fixed an issue where the Shattered Dive was costing melee charge on successful shattering a crystal when landing the detonation.
Oh, I missed that.
What'd you miss that? It doesn't matter.
I don't
Well,
know.
you missed the moan. You missed
could've-
that you could
I
moan
could have
about it for
taken
5
advantage
seconds.
of that, for a little bit at least. Had fun with it.
Well, this was all read to you. I mean, you should have known.
No.
Did they not read this part to you?
When you do your Shatter
I didn't hear
Dive,
that part, no.
you do your Shatter Dive, you're not meant. It's not meant to consume your melee.
I know it's meant to consume a grenade, which has a longer cooldown than a melee.
It's not. Your Shatter Dive isn't.
The
just
Shatter Dive itself.
Yeah, the dive bit of it.
I thought.
So you would have been upset about this if you'd have known about it. This is what I'm saying.
Okay, I see. I misunderstood. Okay. I thought you throwing the grenade was eating melee. Not okay.
I think this is that's what caused a lot of arguments way back when, in a couple of weeks ago, when you talk about Shatter Dive, you think about throwing the grenade down and doing the Shatter Dive. The Shatter Dive is the actual just diving down and hitting the ground.
Right.
And shattering.
Anyway, yeah. They fixed an issue where the frontal assault was activating when the player attacked dead objects with a charged melee.
Mm-hmm.
Say that again? I zoned out. What?
Frontal assault.
Yeah.
Was activating when the player attacked dead objects with a charged melee.
Oh, and that frontal assault gives you like that extra damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's no way, no, Bungie.
No, they fixed it. They stopped it.
Good.
Right.
That's good.
For your bounties and pursuits, they fixed an issue where the weekly Star Horse bounties could only be completed on one character, so many characters can now pick those up. They fixed an issue that could lead players to be unable to obtain the Magnus Opus 2 quest from Xur even after meeting the correct conditions. And then they fixed an issue with certain Sparrow engines VFX would fail to play. Fixed an issue where the emblem, the metal, the flow could not be reclaimed in the collections if discarded. That's good. Those are the new ones that we got in the 30th anniversary pack, I think. Fixed an issue where the item representing the Moments of Triumph t-shirt could never be discarded, which I found out this week, and I was quickly able to delete that. Thank you, Bungie.
Hold on, no. You wait, back up. Stop. You actively and on purpose wanted to delete something in your inventory?
Yeah, it was the silly token for the Moments of Triumph t-shirt.
That's not worth holding on to because it will never be anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, that's half of Demon's inventory. That doesn't matter.
No, those things he hopes will become something. This already has a purpose, and that purpose will be gone after the season, after you buy your shirt. There's no reason to hold on to that.
Okay.
There's a reason to hold on to everything else.
Yeah. Players who previously completed the Twitch gift subscription bounty and did not receive the Watcher's shader can now claim it from Amanda Holiday in the Tower. The emblem, the Drestiger, which is the one that Peroty loves.
The beautiful Windows 95 one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Windows 95 one, which is earned by completing Twitch gift subscription bounties, now appears in the collections for players who have unlocked it. They fixed an issue causing the perks on Banshee 44's legendary weapons to reroll on Wednesday after the weekly reset. Wicked Overgrowth shader now displays properly in the collections when acquired. Fixed an issue on the roster that could cause Destiny 2 to close in circumstances where many friends or clanmates cycled online states in short window of time. So basically, just don't be friends with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
They fixed an issue that may introduce a minor performance hit for players with many friends on clan or clanmates. The team is already working on a fix to improve this performance hit. So again, don't be friends with anyone.
Yeah, have less friends. Problem solved. They don't
Yeah.
care if they're online or offline.
That's it. That was your hotfix.
It was. And now we have this week of Bungie for the 13th of January 22. No, we don't.
Do you want to do that? Do you want to? Well, do you want to do that? Do you want to do that first, and then the trailer?
Well, I mean, the trailer's in there. Like it's like 3 paragraphs
okay.
down. So I figured it's all sort of one and the same. Like it's right there.
Okay.
That I know Respawn has watched and is waiting to pull it apart, frame by frame.
No, he doesn't do that. I do that.
No,
sometimes.
I watch it. I enjoy it. I like the visuals.
Now, did you watch it? Did you watch it, or did you watch it with someone else who told you what was going on in it?
I watched
Did you watch it?
Like
did
the
you
actual,
watch it with the
thing.
director's commentary?
No, I just watched the trailer by itself.
Yeah, so this week of Bungie, we have a TWAB and we have a Witch Queen Witch Queen trailer. Not a Witch Queen twailer; those are different. Thank you, Elmer Fudd. So tell us all about our lovely Witch Queen trailer, where we visited Savathûn's throne world.
Did you guys see the statue move all? Never mind. We'll get to that later.
No, talk about it now.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
we're
the one
talking
Thrall
about the
statue
trailer.
that was like pointing one direction, and then like as the camera shifted, its arm moved and started pointing like down the hallway and whatnot. I was like, wait a minute, that statue just moved. So like, did it move or was I tripping? Do you guys even know what I'm talking about?
Do it goes to black, doesn't it? And then it's like the ghost is kind of the light has kind of hit it on and then at one angle, and then it kind of turns and then back, and it's moved. Yeah, know what you're talking about. Other people might not know what you're talking about, because we'll link the trailer in the show notes. So you can find it on YouTube. It's pretty easy to find, or it's in the TWAB. But yeah, let's talk about it then. There was a trailer for the Witch Queen. What are your takeaways from it?
Visually speaking, it's gonna look good. Still kind of wondering how this light thing is gonna go though, right?
Yeah.
What do you take away from it, Mr. I paid way too many attention to too many details?
Peroty, you don't pay attention to too many details, do you?
I pay attention to some details. I am curious how much this sort of looks like all of the Moon Shadowkeep artwork, but they repainted it white instead of dark. So I'm really hoping a bunch of this isn't just like, hey, it's the Moon, it's Shadowkeep, but it's brighter now in the Throne World. Ooh. That was the thing I kept thinking about. It does have a whole like Callous Shadow theme, or Callous and Shadowkeep theme to it. Like the big palaces, less gold than Callous, but just sort of like replace the gold with sort of the, bright and white and light, as opposed to all the darkness of Shadowkeep, where everything was red and black. I don't know. It's a Bungie trailer. It's lots of beautiful looking things. I'm going, okay. Honestly, these things, I look at the environments more, because it's like, all right, this is where I'm going to be spending all of my game time in the next couple of months as this thing gets released, and this is where I'll be living. There's a bunch of different, like, there was that section where it sort of like showed like the different settings, I guess, of the game, where they're all drastically different. So I mean, like, is this whole, we're losing Tangled Shore and we're getting, her Throne World and whatever that's going to entail, which I'm just curious is like, is it showing us like, hey, here's where the raid will be, here's where this will be, here's where that'll be, or is it going to be like a whole planet worth of different distinct places? Is it going to be like a planet with moons? There's just a lot of different.
It looks like a whole playable space
environments.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it'll be some kind of playable space, but it seems like just a lot of very different looking environments to play in.
I mean, she's a busy woman. What do you want?
She is. I mean, it's a whole shadow world, and I'm excited to just play with the new Void 3.0 subclasses. That I'm really looking forward to almost more than everything else is the new Void reworks.
Agreed.
And see how those go.
And for all you Titans out there, you're not going to get a damn dodge. Stop hounding me about it. Sorry, just
why would Titans get a dodge? It doesn't make any sense.
I've had at least 3 Titans talking about how this Void rework, they hope that they can get dodges now, or some kind of some kind of movement ability, because hunters have their normal dodge, warlocks have their Icarus dodge, and Titans don't have anything. And they're like,
we have a shoulder charge. That's your movement.
That's what I told him, but he's all like, no, we need one that's not tied to a damage type or whatever. I'm like, why?
No, you have that. It's called Lion Rampart. You have an exotic for it. There's your movement.
Oh, that one increases your distance, though, right? It doesn't like make you move faster, does it?
You can move in the air. They've got the jump jets on them. You can scoot back and forth or change direction in the air.
Oh, can you?
I mean,
I didn't know that.
Have you never watched a single video of a Titan ever in this entire game? Like any of these like map hacks things that people jump out with swords and Titans? Like that's
swords, yeah, but Lion Ramparts are always jumping in a straight direction. You know, they're trying to reach across a gap or a pit, so they're always going straight. I didn't know you could straight up change directions with the Ramparts. That's new to me. I didn't. Yes. I didn't know. I've only ever seen them fly straight, dude.
Yeah. So everybody asking Respawn, where's your movement? It's an exotic. That's your movement.
Man, there it is.
So, what I'm getting from this trailer, or from what we're kind of getting from what we've actually seen from the previous couple of trailers, because there's been a couple of over Christmas and beforehand, is that it looks like it's going to be quite a big space. There's going to be like a swamp underworld kind of part to it, and then there's what looks to be like what's in front of her throne, and then you've got kind of city walls, which is kind of reminiscent of our city. So, and she's got some kind of a castle or something in the background that is there. There's also a pyramid somewhere in there, or a pyramid ship in there, which it looks like it's going to be several different kind of places to go. And what I'm envisioning from this is that it's a bit like a Mario game, is that we'll start in the bottom part of the region.
Like a what game?
Mario game. Think Mario 3 on the NES.
I'm
right?
trying to think of Mario 1.
No,
what's a Mario game?
Think Mario 3. So you start on level 1.1, which is down in the swamp area. Then you progress.
Describe the game. What do you do in this Mario game?
I'm not going there. You start in the
He's a professional plumber. It's all about fixing pipes.
We have a game like that. It's called Mario Brothers. That's like an old ass game.
That's what I'm saying. Why are you being silly?
Because you're saying Mario. There's no such thing as Mario. Nobody says Mario. Mario's not a thing.
Mario.
There you go. See?
You go.
It's not so hard being not British.
Oh, for God's sake. So I think like the swampy underbelly part is like the 1.1. And then we move slowly through that, and maybe there's a 1.2 part of that. Then we slowly get to what is kind of the outside of the area that she is, which is like 1.3, 1.4, and then she is the kind of the boss selection area, and it's going to open up like that. It's a bit like what we had with Forsaken. So we opened up with the Tangled Shore, and we were able to go to the Tangled Shore to start off with, but it wasn't until we'd done certain amounts of things in the story before the Dream City went, oh look, there's a whole new playable space over here. And I think that's going to be very reminiscent of what's happening with the Witch Queen. There's going to be various different parts that open up, but you've got to have played enough parts to open up the next part.
Talking about Bungie fixes. Sorry.
What are we talking about?
Talking about Bungie fixes.
And are you talking to us or talking to them? Because we were not.
Both.
We're talking about the trailer.
Okay. Well, so I'm flustered because like I'm helping Blue do the dungeon. He just invited me, and I'm like, all right, okay, cool, whatever, right? And you know how the little orbs fall in the water, like right at the edge, right? And you go to pick it up, and your tippy toe touches the water, and you insta die. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand if your dumbass falls in it, yeah, you die. But when your tippy toe touches it, picking up a thing.
Listen. You're granted immortality, but you can never bathe. That's the trade-off.
Never touch water.
Yeah.
That's the trade-off. You're granted immortality. You can be resurrected, but you just can't bathe. Sorry, no more water for you.
Yeah, I mean, no, I heard most of what he said, but yeah, I get it. It's a trade-off, but for Jiminy Christmas sake, dude, my tippy toe touched the edge of the water, man.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I was still on dry land, for Pete's sake.
Nope.
Just leave it. If it goes in the water, don't go near it.
No.
You don't need it.
Anyway, trailer.
So, yeah.
Sorry.
Getting back to the trailer. So, are you guys not seeing this in the trailer? The city that she's kind of, or that big wall that's around like her throne world, looks very reminiscent of our last city with that big wall that we've got around it. And it's very funny that how she's now wielding the light and we're wielding the light. There's a lot of similarities between the way that her throne world is set up to what our world is set up like. Like
It's
if you
almost
go,
like she's been hanging out in our world for the last like 6 months or so.
It's almost like
Researching.
Bungie reuses assets.
no, that's not what I'm saying. I mean, what's really confusing is how is she able to keep her memories? Does she keep her memories? If she is wielding the light, like us, for Guardians, we had to be resurrected.
She wasn't given the light, though. She wasn't resurrected by the light. She stole the light. You know what I'm saying? Like when you
How?
die,
No,
you
I
die.
don't.
Your memories go away, right?
But what I
When
don't
the ghost
understand
resurrects
is
you, he doesn't resurrect you. He resurrects your body, right? That's why sometimes Guardians will keep their core personality traits intact, but they'll be a different person entirely.
I know
You
you've
know?
just said that Bungie reuse assets, but it sounds like they're reusing the same kind of storyline. Gaul came in
It
at the
could
beginning
be.
of Gaul came in at the beginning of Destiny 2 and tried to steal the light, and it all went
Yeah,
wrong for him.
he stole the light by attacking the Traveler and siphoning the Traveler. She is doing it by utilizing ghosts as a conduit between the two, right? Yeah, she's doing basically the same thing. She's doing it in a different way, right? Instead of directly going to the Traveler and saying, "Hey, I'm taking your stuff," she's like, "You know what? What if I just use a ghost as a conduit? I'm not attacking the Traveler. I'm just utilizing ghosts that already
But
had the light
like
at
us,
one point in time," right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But like us wielding the darkness that allowed us to wield it, so the light must be allowing her to wield the light. There must be a give and take from that. If the light, we've seen from what's happened with the Traveler beforehand, if the Traveler doesn't want you to wield its light, it says no, and like it did with Gaul at the beginning of Destiny 2, it just went, "No, sorry, mate, you ain't having this. Goodbye." So there must
But
be.
he did have it, at least temporarily. You know,
Yes, but
he
she
was
seems.
wielding the light, and then he over siphoned it, and then detonated. You
But
know,
she seems to be wielding the light and the light powers that we've had for all these years.
because she's
You
not
know,
attacking. She's not draining it from the Traveler itself. She's like
well, technically she is if she's using the
she's
ghost as a conduit.
She's stealing internet from the neighbor, is what she's doing, right?
Okay.
So the internet's already got a live line that's going there, aka a dead ghost. And instead of stealing the neighbor's internet, and the neighbor's like, "Holy crap, would my internet go?" Whatever, right? She instead is just attaching on to it additionally. She's siphoning off of it instead of taking it
Are
entirely.
you sure?
Therefore, maybe the neighbor's not. No, I'm we're theory crafting here, So I mean, it's like, the Traveler hasn't noticed his light is going through ghosts that used to be light and no longer were and now are again. I mean, could definitely be a thing, dude. I think. Yeah. That's a good explanation as I can come up with.
Also, the thing that parallels what we had is that Savathûn seems to be echoing what the speaker used to be with us, where she is kind of the spokesperson for the
Bro, she was the
dark
speaker.
light.
We discussed this like seasons ago. She is the speaker.
Is she? How have we
No.
discussed this?
No, we joked about it a bunch about how she's the speaker, she's this, she's that, she's the other. Yeah, no, people theory crafted that she was the speaker and whatever,
Okay.
like months and months and months ago. But
No.
no.
If she's able to keep her memories and wield dark and light powers, is
she
is
didn't
she
die,
the bad
though.
person? Is she the bad
She didn't
person
die.
now?
That's why she can keep her memories. She didn't die. That's what I was trying to tell you. We died. Our brain stopped functioning.
We don't know if she
We
does
were
die, do
dead,
we? Let's face it, we've got to wait for the end of this season to kind of come around to see the outcome of what's happening with that chrysalis.
Well, this chrysalis is probably her changing so that she can wield it without the worm, right? The worm, she gets rid of the worm, and in lieu of the worm is
But is it?
siphoning
It's like
light.
a butterfly, isn't it? A caterpillar going from being a
More like a
caterpillar
moth,
dies
but
out, a moth, and turns into a moth or a butterfly.
Mhm.
So in essence, they do die, but then they're reborn as something else. Is that going to be like the end of this season? And at that point, are they then able to wield the light because of that? Because they've reborn, or are we the bad guys in all of this? I know it's been speculated over the years.
Yeah, no, we've been speculated to be the bad guys already, for various other reasons.
Because I'm sure somewhere in what I've read or what I've heard that we've kept the Traveller on Earth. There's somehow that we've managed to keep it here, locked in place. I can't remember where I've read it from. Do you guys remember this?
I don't remember us locking it here, no.
I remember
Rasputin,
reading,
that was it. Yeah, that was it.
reading a theory about it.
Something to do with Rasputin.
Rasputin tried to fight the Traveller.
No,
Rasputin
I'm
viewed the
sure
Traveller as an enemy, didn't
Rasputin.
he?
No, I'm sure Rasputin was one of the main reasons why the Traveller was trapped here. So we could still be the bad guys in all of this.
We could. We could be hijacking it for the sake of keeping humanity alive, Maybe the Fallen are the good guys. Maybe the Fallen are trying to rescue the Traveller. Hell, I don't know. There's a lot of things that could be done, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about Savathûn wielding light.
Yeah, but
bro.
No, but I'm saying
You're saying is she wielding light because the Traveller's giving it to her because we're the bad guy?
Well, yeah, I mean, this could be the turning point. I mean, we've got like the Witch Queen, and what's next? Is it
Lightfall?
Lightfall, yeah. So in a year, there's a whole year's worth of story here to take us to Lightfall. Is it the point of this is the reason why we're not the good guys? Maybe we do turn. Maybe we turn to be the good guys in all of this.
Maybe it wasn't just fan fiction written by what's his face after all. Maybe it does happen. Maybe we do turn to the dark.
Well, we've already turned to the darkness. We already have.
No, what I mean is we
using
become evil. Like in his fan fiction, we made
Is who?
God, the big Cabal robot guy we killed so many times, man. Callus, thank you. I kept wanting to say Caius, but no, Callus, right? But yeah, his fan fiction was all like, how we killed the Drifter by making him eat his own ghost and then shooting him in the face. I mean, in his fan fiction, we did some pretty dark stuff, So I mean, maybe that won't come to pass after all. Maybe it wasn't just fan fiction.
Well, I think you say that, but then it could have come to pass because we've had Elsie Bray come back or come into our universe, say that she's from a different timeline. Sure. So it's a bit like the multiverse. There are several different thousand timelines out there that could potentially have those possibilities. So where Callus has been taken on the Glycon and put somewhere else, or I don't know the kind of lore aspects of it, but he could have seen those things happen in another dimension, another universe, and written about
it. We don't know what the darkness entailed, right? When he glared into the darkness could be just a mirror to the multiverse.
And yeah, I mean, it could be very similar to like Avengers. There could be time travel involved in it, like Elsie has. Callus could have dropped off his own book to himself at some point and gone, "This is what's going to happen." It might not necessarily be our future, but it is a future that Callus has kind of been to, which is why it's the lore and why it's in that book. So yeah, there's many kind of possibilities that they could kind of take it.
All of the things are equally weird.
You just have to look at the names of the archetypes of the characters. I mean, the Hive have got good archetypes. You've got knights, you've got wizards, we've got hunters, we've got warlocks, we've got titans. They are archetypes of
bad
enemies.
Things.
Yeah, bad things.
Titans ate their own children. Warlocks are inherently known to be evil.
Warlocks, yeah, the evil side of wizards, aren't they? Yeah,
yeah. So.
Yeah, it's very strange how the title of the upcoming things are kind of ominous of where the story could go. We have Lightfall, then we have the final shape, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
In 2 years' time. So
circle.
Yeah. My big question from not just this trailer, But we get their ghosts, the hive ghosts, and we crush them. So we're essentially killing light ghosts.
We're killing ghosts that are resurrecting in
But
our
they're light
eyes
ghosts.
evil
They
people.
are. Yes, but they're light ghosts. Is that the correct thing to do? Is that a good archetype? A good character archetype? Do we crush the light out of something? It's not a bad. We're not crushing the darkness out of
It's
it.
stolen light, though. It's not. Well, from what we can tell, it's stolen light. It's not given.
But
so
it's still the light. We're destroying the light.
But it's not true light. It's not the light. It's just a light.
Yeah, but according to who? It's like it's from our perspective. Oh, we are the keepers of the light, and the traveler has chosen us, and everyone else is clearly out to get our light. But if it's the light, sort of like the force out there in the universe, being there, being generated by whatever its true source in the world is. It's just light out there to be had by any species or creatures able to wield it. Who's to say that we are the one true light keepers? Who's like the whole, are we the good guys? Are we the bad guys? Are we the ones that the Fallen and the Vex and the Cabal have all been fighting because we are the big super bad in the universe? Because we have this ability to be reborn over and over and over again, and we use that to do what we please without consequence.
I mean, you have to question why the traveler left the Elixir. Why did he leave the Elixir? Or why did it?
Because the darkness was coming. That's part of the lore. When darkness comes, he dips. Too many arms. Not enough guns.
The darkness is here on our doorstep, and the traveler hasn't left.
We're using it, yeah. I mean, to be fair, the traveler was near death for most of his life here. He kind of detonated. So once he detonated once it detonated, maybe it couldn't leave. That's why it's still here. It lacks the ability to space jump. Now all it can do is provide light. It can't actually travel through space.
If it did,
I don't know. If its drives are down, they're struggling to rebuild the drives this whole time.
Right?
There's people frantically working in engineering, being like, "I need new parts."
Oh, what's the crystal that always breaks on the warp drive? What's that crystal called?
Dilithium.
Yeah, dilithium. Yeah, the dilithium crystals
there was
busted.
A burn. They're at dilithium. That's the problem. That's why they're stuck here.
Right.
But so are you saying basically that if the traveler could go, it would have gone and taken its light with us, so we'd be lightless, so we'd be very similar to how the Fallen
I'm
was
saying
the Elixir.
that is a possibility. Am I saying that that's what the case is? Absolutely.
Maybe that's what happens.
I'm just building off of what you're saying.
I know we're kind of going off on theories here, but it's very strange how Savathûn is wielding the light. We're crushing light-filled ghosts.
So they don't resurrect, dude. Can you imagine fighting an army of us? We've already had that happen on Earth between the air quotes good guardians and the warlords. You know what I mean? You really want that to happen between us and Hive? Hive already have Hive magic. You want them to have light on top of Hive magic? That'd be
too late. They've already got it.
Nightmare. Oh, I mean, yeah, fair, but we crush the ghost so that they can't continue to revive. Damn it.
No, I'm not happy about this. Peroty, what's your take on all of this?
He'll play the game.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I really, my biggest take on this whole thing is I'm really curious to see what other media properties come out of this game, because I enjoy my game and I enjoy my story. I enjoy my story in my game, and I'm glad it's more than just, hey, go murder the aliens, they're here. But honestly, day to day, it's still just go murder the aliens. But I'm really curious to see where this all goes and what Bungie makes, book, TV, movie, whatever.
You want to be an Elixir. You want more arms.
I just want to soak in this world. Like, it's such a rich world that Bungie has created for this game. I want to live in that world. And as much as I try, I will never sit down and read the lore. I will never comb through the books and understand how it all fits together.
That's why Life in Mylan.
Right, yeah, no, totally. But like I like it having it spoon fed to me so I can understand sort of the whys about all this, and this person here and this thing here might refer back to that. I really enjoy living in this world. So yeah, I'm curious to see, big story arc wise, where we go with the light and the darkness, and what it means for who we are as guardians, and what at the end of the day, what what comes out of it in terms of what can I play with. Can I go be a hive? Can I be a hive guardian after Lightfall? Is the game reborn? And it launched some cataclysmic event happens and you launch and you go, you can play as a Vex, as a hive, as a human, as a are those going to be my new
just to support you, to be fair, we do have some fallen allies. So there's nothing stopping Bungie from, at a minimum, allowing us to be able to pick a fallen Elixir, yeah. An Elixir.
No, but we have Cabal allies now.
Right.
Them too, yeah.
Pretty much everybody but the
and a Vex Harpy, a nice little blue Vex Harpy.
That doesn't count. That's a one-off, or that's a two-off. Because I don't know if it was the same one or a different one when we came across it again. But
so what's this topic, Ghost, from taking our consciousness and resurrecting it in a body of a harpy, or in the body of a Vex versus the body of what we had?
It doesn't take our consciousness. First of all, our consciousness comes from our brain that has been reborn. So. But we would get whatever consciousness comes into that Vex or that. Oh my God! Whatever comes in that Vex or whatever.
How do you explain your Exo then? Because they don't have a brain in them.
I don't have.
They don't have a physical brain.
Yeah. I mean, if the Ghost is just basically restoring me from backup into the hardware of my body, whether that be human awoken or Exo.
They do have organic parts, right? The Exos have organic parts. How much of their brain relies on that organic stuff? I mean, I don't know. I can't explain the Exos. We're getting too deep for me. I don't know, man. Stop asking questions.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
Right.
I'm just thinking. It's like, what is,
get it in all you can.
Theory-wise, what is there to stop the game from saying, you could come back at, this cataclysmic event, the ghosts, something terrible happened. The ghosts were sort of sent to wander, and their sort of mission in life is to restore people from death, and saying, well, I've got this backup of this human. Hey, I found a Cabal body. Hey, I found a fallen body. Hey, I found a Vex.
And that's another thing.
If I could load you back into and say, hey, we had to, you as a human awoken Exo were lost. Hey, I found a vessel to put you back into so we could continue fighting. You just happen to be a insert new alien race here. You're now a fallen. You're now a this. I think that'd be an interesting way to go about it. I don't know. I mean, it may never happen. It may just be, hey, these are the three things you have forever because games.
My question is more like, what would the point of it be, right? Because, like I said, when we resurrect, we're resurrecting with our consciousness, our brain. If he was to resurrect us in a fallen or whatever, right, then it would be their consciousness, not our consciousness. And most of the reason why we fight for humanity is because we're from humanity, right? We are, when you get down to the nitty gritty, humans. Now we're humans with superpowers, but we're still humans, So that could play a big factor as to why we even care about, the Earth or humanity or this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if we were resurrected as an Exo or a Cabal, why would we still fight for the humans? I'd go fight for the Cabal or whatever.
We're not allies.
Because
some of us are allies. Yes.
Well, maybe after Lightfall, or maybe after around Lightfall, something happens, and you need to go figure out how the light fell or whatever, and like a deep infiltration mission. You're going to play this season as a fallen or a Cabal, and your storyline is going to be to basically infiltrate their ranks and to figure out what's going on, or to get more information about what's happening, why the light fell, why story thing XYZ have happened.
Sure.
I think there's interesting ways to say you're playing this game out as a different race, as a different alien for whatever the big story arc is. I mean, will it happen? Probably not. It's a lot of work to make that happen, and it's a whole different direction. But Bungie has said this, Lightfall is sort of the end of this light and dark saga that they've been working on since Destiny 1 in 2014. Here we are, 7 years into our 10-year game plan. Where's sort of this third big act going to take us? Where these next 3 years are going to send us to?
Yeah, I mean, what I'm getting from the trailer is that the space is very grandeur. It's huge, and I think it's going to be kind of akin to, like I said, Forsaken, in the size of the the Tangled Shore is going to be the initial area. We're then going to move into the bigger throne world, which is going to be very similar to the Dreaming City in size. I mean, if you think about it, we lost quite a few planets in the Destiny content vault anyway. We lost Mars, Io, Mercury. There was quite a lot of assets that have kind of been put into there, and now like the Tangled Shore's also going in there, and I hope that we get a space big enough to kind of fill 2 areas again, and also that Savathûn doesn't just die within the first couple of story missions. And not repeating what happened with the Taken King, where we defeated Oryx, and then it comes back as a bigger Oryx. Sorry, spoilers for Destiny 1. But I
right, yeah.
I don't.
No, don't spoil the first one. Oh Lord.
I don't want it to be that, and I don't want it to be like Eramis, like we had in.
And
like,
we also fight Oryx in this game too. We fight Oryx so many damn times.
No, that's Crota.
Oh, it is Crota. My bad.
Yeah.
I always get the two confused.
Poor Crota's stuck
That's
in
my
purgatory, keep fighting us in various different.
Can you imagine every time he opens his eyes to be like reiterated or comes back to consciousness, let's say, and then the first thing he sees is us Guardians. He's like, son of a
yeah.
Again. Where the hell am I at now? Oh, great, I'm here now. Fantastic.
But yeah, like with Eramis in Beyond Light, I don't want it to kind of we've defeated them at the end of the story. Oh, you've got somebody else to kind of fight in. I mean, we had the Vex, wasn't it, in the Garden of Salvation raid, which it kind of tied in with the beginning part of Beyond Light, but didn't really kind of go anywhere. And
what do you mean didn't go anywhere?
Well, that's it. It kind of stopped, didn't it, with the Vex invasions on the moon?
Because we stopped it. That's the whole point of it.
Well, I think we've beaten that trailer to death. Our minute and 28 seconds of trailer that we'll get here in what are we, 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away? No, more than that.
The 22nd.
I think it's like the 1st of February, but yeah, it's the Tuesday.
So we
and
got
it's part of the
1,
Tuesday
2,
that said
3, 4, 5, almost 6 weeks.
All right, 6 weeks to get your things done you're trying to get done. And now we'll get to the part of all that set the internet ablaze that spawned many angry comments and many YouTube videos. The Artifact Mods update. Insert Orbs meme here.
Just preference for this, like we always say, with every update and every TWAB that kind of comes out half baked, every year, every season, this is only half the information.
Not even that. It's like a quarter.
I mean, I'm on board with it. I don't see what people's problem with it is.
No, but I think that's because I think you've been conditioned with us to wait until the kind of final product now. Beforehand, if this was Respawn 3 years ago, Respawn 3 years ago would have been angry at the first word in the first sentence.
Artifact.
Mods, even worse. No, because they actually explained it. They didn't just leave it. They're saying, "Hey, we're changing this."
They did.
Why the hell are you changing it? Well, they said
they
because of how they're. I know that's what I'm saying. They actually explained why they're changing it, and because they explained it ahead of time, well, now I'm like, oh, okay, well that makes sense. Now all of our weapons that aren't masterworked and that
let me just ask you a question:
have one?
Would this matter if they hadn't bothered to even tell you until like the last week, or even in the patch notes? Just this is what's going to happen with this. It wouldn't have mattered. I don't think.
Full disclosure, I'd have been because then I'd have been like, I wasted all this material on masterworking weapons. Had they not explained it?
No, but that's the thing. That there apparently there is going to be a reason why, but they can't tell us just yet because it will spoil other things. So why tell us half the information now? If there's still a reason to do it,
because it was enough to explain it, though. I mean, anyway, it was enough to sate people's curiosity.
We're getting ahead of Peroty hasn't even told us what it is, and we're getting ahead of it. But what I'm saying is, just take everything that they kind of say, and wait until the final product, because I think. Years of experience have taught us this, is that they want to keep things back because they want to keep everybody excited about what the actual things are. Sometimes they hit the right spot, sometimes they don't. But let's just give them a chance. Peroty?
Give Orbs a chance. So there's 2 changes they're sort of detailing today. Is first they say one of the most consistent pieces of feedback is that we've been wanting to act on for a while involves unlocking of artifact mods. So starting in Season 16, players will no longer be limited to the number of artifact mods they can unlock. That means that players could feasibly unlock all 25 mods by the end of the season. While we have made some small adjustments to the amount of XP required to unlock the mods, 1 through 12, in general, the pace of unlocking these first 12 should be close to what we've seen in Season 15's artifact. So basically what they're saying is, next season, sort of those first 12 mods, which is what you can unlock today, the pace to get there will be about on par of what you're doing now. However long that takes you, there's no big change from that. But now for each mod you unlock after the 12th, you will need more XP to get that next piece unlocked. So you can go above what you have today, but it's going to take you a little bit longer, which seems like a good trade-off. So this will now get to live in a world where, again, if you have enough time to play, get enough XP, you won't have to choose, I didn't unlock the unstoppable bow mod. I chose something else. Let me reset my whole artifact, respec the whole thing out just to make this one change. Now you'll be able to unlock those additional mods, or just play for the extra XP and then say, I need this unlocked. Let me unlock it when I need it, without having to reset your entire thing, resocket all the mods you have, which seems like a great change. I'm very happy that they sort of left the main progression the same, but then give you the ability to unlock the rest of them.
Yeah.
Hey guys, on this topic, it's about this topic.
Yeah.
Hazel gave feedback saying that this is going to nerf charge with light builds. I don't see how. You're still dropping orbs.
Oh no, he's talking about the next thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So is he talking about when it comes to the artifact mods themselves, they're bringing a few perennial anti-champion mods back, including anti-barrier scout and bows. And while they've got some work to do to make disrupting the overload champions, which can be done this season with auto rifles and SMGs, more reliable than previous seasons, they'll also be highlighting the new glaive weapon archetype coming into the Witch Queen through a variety of artifact mods, including an option to make your glaive the solution to unstoppable champions. So they're saying anti-barrier is going to be scout rifles and bows. Who doesn't love a scout rifle anti-barrier? Overloads are going to be auto rifles and SMG. So if you need to be overloaded, throw lots of bullets at it. And the glaive will be unstoppable.
I think that.
And presumably more than just that, but that's what they're telling us right now.
Well, you also have inherent exotics that do unstoppable stuff.
You do.
Like, what is it? The primary fusion rifle takes care of unstoppable, and so does the bow.
Right. Yeah, but that's the big thing people always want to know is what weapon should I be, which weapon should I set aside to be my favorite babies for the next seasons to do all of my unstoppable working? What archetypes should I be grinding for? Should I be hitting that nightfall looking for that hung jury? Should I be doing, finishing my run to get this bow?
Yeah.
I think what you've got to consider is unlocking the artifact 1 to 12. It's a very easy process normally. We can get to 1 to 12 within, I think, an average player, a week or 2 weeks, possibly 3. Depends on how much you play.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that doesn't even take you to 100 on your season pass. So it's not as hard as trying to get to 100 to unlock all those things as well.
Fair.
And it doesn't give you, it's not plus 12 power on your artifact. It's not plus 12 on your artifact. It's something different because the way they work out the artifact XP to how much the artifact gives you a bonus in light is different. I think it's something. I mean, you look at it now. It's like depending on where you are, it's like about 4 or 5 times you go through upgrading that artifact or that level before it gives you an artificial bump in your light. So if you think from 1 to 12 is very quick that you can unlock that. If from going from 13 to 24 is maybe times 1.5 of that, maybe that's getting to like a rank 150 on your season pass. It's going to be very quick to unlock if you're playing the game, if you've got your setups with your ghosts for your XP, if you're turning in bounties. You're not even going to think about this going really, really quickly. You're going to be able to unlock your normal 1 to 12, and you're going to have to make those decisions of which ones you want to unlock first to get to that end track, to then possibly then after the XP after like that.
You say that, but then they said that after you get to 12 mods, the XP cost will significantly go up.
Did they say significantly, or did they just say it will increase?
They implied significantly with their verbiage.
It says increased XP will be required.
Yeah.
So increase. That's not significant. It just says you're going to need more. We're going to slow down the progression at that point is all they're saying. They're not saying it's going to be 10 times as much. It's going to be a huge increase. It's going to take you longer. And really, I think for most people, I mean, yes, there's people who out there who are going to want to say, I want to unlock all 25, because watch them throw like a triumph in there that'll then make Nitedemon grind for it.
Please
But
don't do that. Please do not do that.
You're agreed. But I think for most, like I look at this to say, I think most people don't need all 25. Most people want like 15. They basically want to have, their favorites, but then have like all of their options to stun champions unlocked. Or hey, or and have an extra one or two to say, oh hey, this is the mod that's absolutely broken this season, or that's absolutely phenomenal with the new weapon they just released. Like, and I didn't choose it. I want to go back and choose this one thing. I think most people don't want, or you're not going to need all 25. Now I know Respawn will be out there going, I need to have all 25 because I want to have a build for every last little thing. I want to make sure it's absolutely perfect. But I think for a lot of people, they say,
no, just not Respawn. I am not that grindy.
Nope. But I think this is good to say. Here's sort of the what you had last season, and then here's 2 or 3 others to go. Oh, I need to have this archetype, or hey, I'm running this piece of content, and I really need that. I really need that untoppable thing, or I really need this grenade to do this damage. So, I don't think a lot of people are going to be out there grinding all of them out, except for the streamers going, I can play this 80 hours a week and get every last little thing unlocked, and here's the builds you can make if you do that.
Right. They can and will.
Now I'm hopeful reading this next paragraph
Don't
to take a little pressure off your vault space. They're making some adjustments to the way Masterwork armors work.
Yes.
Starting with Launch of the Witch Queen, you can activate the energy type of the fully Masterwork piece of armor at a much reduced cost.
Mm-hmm.
A fully Masterwork piece of legendary armor can be changed to another energy type for 10,000 glimmer and 1 upgrade module, while a fully Masterworked exotic armor can be changed from another energy type for the cost of 20,000 glimmer and the same 1 upgrade module.
Yes.
But the cost of changing a piece of energy before it's upgraded remains unchanged. Okay, so because I had seen speculation about people saying, well, great, I have my Masterworked armor, but I want it to be solar. So they're making it less expensive to change that now, but it doesn't really help my vault space.
It does. It doesn't. It does because people out there, myself included, had to have certain armor pieces of certain energy types, right? And some of them are exotic. And I don't have a plethora of golf balls hanging out that I can just change the element on a whim, right? So I have armors that have been stockpiled in case I need them that have that elemental type, right? This changes a lot. You get your setups for the exotics that you want, you get your triple 100s, and then you don't ever have to worry about armor again unless you really want to get into min-maxing. This is great. I love this.
I want to ask follow-up questions, but I know I won't bother with any of it anyway, so good.
This doesn't help me because I had, I've got various different armor sets. I do have a problem. But I'll give you an example, right?
You're the outlier, dude.
There are many of us. It's not just me.
Uh-huh.
I saw many sad YouTube videos about that this week, in fact.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I'll just take, for example, 2 Fellwinter's helms. They're both solar elements, but they have a different stat distribution in their stats. 161, 163. But the way their stats are lined out works with one build with like melee, one works with discipline. Now, I want to keep both of those because they work in different ways for different builds. If I was, I'd keep them in different elements or change them into different elements. But it's the stat distribution on them, which is why I've kept 2 of them. I've got like 3 of the Helms of Saint 14 because of the different stat distributions. So I've got one that's all across the board. I've got one that's really heavy into strength, and I've got one that is an old one from year 1, which we don't talk about. But anyway,
right.
I
But
keep them because of the different stat distributions.
you
It's
have
not
that because of the different
because
stat
of the
distributions. But now
elements.
you don't need one for that same build with a different elemental type.
But I've never needed
You
that.
don't. Well,
There may
some
have been a
people
case
do.
where I needed that, but I
Some people do.
don't.
Some people that go
Yeah.
through raids and dungeons and
But that's
whatnot,
what I'm
where you have
saying.
to have
It may
certain mods
alleviate
on.
other people's issues, but it doesn't alleviate my issue in my vault. And it also doesn't alleviate the issue with people that run all three characters. I think what Bungie forget is that they're like you pick one character, you run with that character. The other two characters are kind of secondary. You'll keep maybe one set of armor for each because if you need to run something, you still need to keep them at a higher power level to go through.
Right.
But all in all, your main focus is on your hunter. Whereas I focus on all three characters because I love watching the videos and having the different builds and having the different weapons with the different stats that are, or the different perks on them, because so and so says it'll be good to use this with this, and they do. Some of them are really good recommendations, and the stat distributions on the armor are different because that's, it works in a certain build that I've seen somewhere else, and I keep those all together and I keep them all, pinned all together as a build. And that's the problem, is that the more and more weapons and the more and more armor, I mean, not so much with the armor these days, because I've got kind of the different build outs, or the stat loadouts that I need for the different builds that I want to kind of do. So armor's all right until I kind of get new armor that comes into it. I then have to rejiggle some of the pieces to fit into that. But that's not so much of a problem. It's more of a problem of the weapons, that the more and more weapons that they put into the game is the issue, because there are good weapons that are still available to use from year one. Yes, you can't use them in PvE, but you can use them in PvP, which was where they are still quite fun to use. You can still use them in competitive, because the light doesn't matter in competitive. Not Trials, not Iron Banner, but just regular competitive. So that's the issue that I have, is that the weapons are the main issue, is because they keep giving us more loot that I'm struggling with. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about TWABs. My issues are my issues.
Well,
And power generation.
A little bit. But I mean, you are unique in your issues because, like you said, you focus on all the characters, which is a problem, dude. Well, I mean, it's more than that. I'm teasing you. I'm half teasing you. It's more than that, because you not only focus on all of your characters, but you also collect every little thing like possible, dude. And I'm just like, I can respect it, because I'm one of those guys. It's like, it's not a god roll, but it could be one day, type of guys. And I get that, but like, you do that with everything, weird. But it lowering the elemental cost is still a good thing overall. It is. I mean, you might not see it because it doesn't really affect you directly, but for people that play a lot of content and have to constantly swap mods between different armors and swap builds all the damn time, it helps a lot. It really does.
Yeah. I'm not arguing the fact that it must alleviate some issues, but it doesn't alleviate.
It doesn't help his issues.
Yeah.
Doesn't help his hoarding.
So the last little piece of tease that they put out was the way we're going to create orbs of power are changing. So Bungie has said, the idea that you're going to need to masterwork this weapon and use all these materials to generate orbs that you might just use for one activity seems like a tall ask. That seems like a tall order to go do. They also want to act on the consistent player feedback that they'd like to, we'd all like to generate orbs of power with exotic weapons that don't have catalysts yet. Like your, Cloud Strike, Thorn, Thunderlord, Teraba. All the things out there that just don't have a catalyst, so you can't generate orbs. You can't masterwork it. So orb generation on weapon multi-kills will no longer be a function of the weapon's masterwork status, but will instead be provided by a suite of armor mods, which will be unlocked automatically for all players, which plug into the helmet armor mod socket. So instead of masterworking your weapons, you're going to get free, handed to you on a platter, a suite of helmet mods. Each of these mods will supply orb generation for all weapons that you have equipped of a particular damage type. So a single mod will cover multiple weapons in your arsenal if they share a damage type. This also applies to weapons that change damage types like hard light or kinetic weapons with osmosis. They will create they'll also continue to create the exotic catalyst over the next few seasons, but in the meantime, you'll be able to generate orbs with anything matching the damage type of what you put on in your helmet mod. Which
See, now that's the key word there. That's the key word right there, right? So the damage type, do they mean like elemental? Do they mean kinetic? Do they mean auto rifle? Because, like, let's say, for example,
elemental damage type. That's why you use the hard light as an example.
Right. But right now, what does that do for kinetics then? Is kinetic just always going to drop orbs?
No.
Exactly.
You're going to need to put on the kinetic mod.
Right now, if
you're also going to need to put on the stasis mod. You're also going to need to put on the solar, the arc,
but
the
you
void
can't put
mod.
on all of them on the one helmet piece.
Got to spec into it, my friend.
Yeah,
but you can't.
But Bungie wants you to build out loadouts. It's inching towards an RPG, less of a looter shooter. You're going to have to say, "This is what I want to spec into. I'm going to be super kinetic shooty boy. That's how I'm going to generate all my orbs. I'm going to be super void boy. That's how I'm going to generate all my orbs."
Like I said at the beginning of this, they've given us a bit of information, haven't kind of followed it up because one, they don't want to spoil something, or they don't want to kind of go into it in too detail.
It's going to be like combination. It's going to be like void
and I've seen the
kinetic,
frustration. I've heard the frustration
kinetic,
from people.
something. Yeah,
is that there's so many mods in the helmet slot. I mean, for example, you've got like hands-on, you've got ammo finders, you've got targeting mods, you've got other. There's just so many mods in that.
There are a lot.
In the helmet to kind of decide to give those up.
Well, the most important one being the finders, right?
Yeah,
that's the biggest problem. Is the finders are on the helmet. Heavy weapon or heavy ammo finder, special ammo.
You have to choose one or the other. Can't you choose both? Don't you have multiple mod slots?
You do.
Yeah, you can choose both, but you'd have to sacrifice a finder or something to generate orbs. And I'm just like, but that's rough, unless they make it its own separate slot on all of the armors and it's like free or something, which it isn't because they said it was cheap. They didn't say free, right? So
what do you mean? It's cheap.
What is cheap?
Right, cheap could be 1 or 2 energy instead of 6 energy to equip it, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, it's actually something. Gotcha.
Yeah,
but I mean, how many? I mean, you have the 4 mod slots on your helmet.
Some of them have 5.
You have 2 mod slots.
The first one is for your
right, yeah. So you've got the general armor. You've got your combat style armor mod, and then your 2, the sort of the middle 2 are your helmet armor. Okay, so yeah, so there are the 2. So there are 2 slots. So can you not put, one of these new orb generation mods in there with an ammo finder, or do those?
You absolutely can, assuming that it is as cheap as what they say they are. But as an example, me right now this season on my helmet, I have fusion rifle ammo finder and linear fusion rifle ammo finder. Because that's what most of us are using for a lot of the content is linear fusion rifles and like a Cartesian coordinate or something, right?
Yeah.
So we need those.
Yeah. Well, you have to choose one or the other then.
Yeah. At that point you will.
Then you make it. Yeah. Then you just make a trade off.
Right.
You can either have both or you have one and your.
See, I would prefer Bungie allow the masterworking to still continue to drop orbs, not to just strip that away. And then also, if you have like a kinetic exotic that doesn't drop orbs because you don't have a
Here's a suggestion for you, Respawn. Instead of the masterwork giving you orbs, the masterwork gives you what the ammo finders basically give you. So it gives you an increased chance of finding whatever it is when you have that weapon equipped. How would that be better?
Yeah, but conversely, the game...
I mean, because who's to say they're not going to do that?
Programming. Because right now, if you have the weapon equipped, you're less likely to get that ammo to drop. You get the other 2 to drop from what you have equipped. Currently.
It says increasing your chances of finding, say, heavy ammo whilst you have a rocket launcher equipped is one of the mods. So if you have a rocket launcher, you're using a rocket launcher, or it's part of your inventory that you're using out of those 3 weapons, and you get the same effect of whatever those ammo mods were, just basically because you've masterworked your weapon. Is that not a better deal?
It's a better deal than what we're currently thinking about, but it's worse in the fact that right now, the way the game works is if I have a heavy weapon out and I'm mowing down enemies, odds are I'm going to see special drop, not heavy. If I have a special weapon out, I'm more likely to see heavy ammo than special, because that's how it is. They give you the ammo for the gun you're not using. They've specified this like a year, 2 years ago, whatever, right? And if you're using your primary, you're more likely to see the other two drop than the primary, right? So if I have to have a heavy in order to drop heavy, and that heavy is something like a rocket launcher where you don't have a ton of ammo, that's not really economical, you know? In that aspect alone.
Using it, just having it equipped. You're mowing down people with your risk runner, and you've got the rocket launcher on. Those risk runner kills will generate your heavy ammo.
So just like on you.
Is what I deem.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was like in your hands kind of thing. I was like, that?
No. As part of the 3 weapons you have actively equipped is what Nitedemon is saying.
Oh, yeah, that makes way more sense. Okay, yeah.
And this also is where I want to chime in, and just like Nitedemon sort of said at the beginning of this is the first piece of the puzzle. This is not the only change you're going to make. This is not how the game is going to be released come Tuesday. This is just the first piece they're telling us about. So they could have next week. They could drop, "Hey, your masterwork weapons are now going to do this." You know how Bungie loves to ride that hype and outrage train. You know they're gonna trickle feed us as content. So we all go, "Oh my god, I'm so angry about this." And the next week, "Oh my god, this is the best thing ever." And then by the time the game comes out, we're in orgasmic joy about how happy we are to have this game out.
Whoa! I mean, let's face it. It gets 2 weeks worth of traction on like Twitter, on Instagram, on Reddit. That they give us something that's half baked or a half piece of information. People get up, really angry about. They talk about it for a week. Bungie come out with, "Oh, this is what we, the other part of the page. We didn't turn it over and tell you until now." And then people are going, "Well, I wish they would have." And that's another week of them being in the social media spotlight.
It could also be Bungie just using us as a cheap way to figure out whether or not their change is going to be good, right? They put it out there. Hey, we're going to put this out there and see what people say, and then make a change based on their feedback, right? They don't give us half the information. They don't have the other half until we complain.
No, not at this point. This content is done. This is written. They're not making big game changes at this point in the release cycle. They're QA testing this thing that comes out in a month. Like they're not going.
QA testing something.
Maybe there's something that they could tweak. Maybe there's a small change they could go, "Oh, we're thinking about X or Y that they might finalize," but they're not gonna revamp anything major at this point in the release cycle. That is not going to happen.
Yeah,
this isn't absolutely using the TWAB to launch 1,000 YouTube videos.
Yeah, it is frustrating when it's like they've stopped mid-sentence.
What did I say earlier? Free publicity. No such thing as bad publicity. Yeah.
If it is just as simple as that they've swapped those mods around, for example, I'm not saying that it is, but if I'm saying if they've swapped masterworking orbs goes as a mod, and the mod that was for generating ammo whilst wielding a weapon is now on a masterworked weapon, if that's what they come out with next week, you'll know that they've intentionally done this because they could have said that. It's not spoiling anything. It's not a game-breaking thing. It's just that they've swapped one mod to be a perk. That's all it's going to be. I'm not saying that is, but if that's what they come out with, something as simple as that's what the masterwork weapons now give you, and they alleviate some of the pressure that's on those helmet mods with the amount that we've suddenly got on there. There's got to be something good that you still want to masterwork a weapon. Otherwise, giving it extra bump in stats is okay, but the orb generation was a good thing. Although they're small orbs, who cares? Anyway, let's wait until they come out with something in the next couple of weeks, or even in the Witch Queen, and then we can say whether we hate it or we love it.
Legit good news to think about, though, right? Is hear me out.
No,
starting on Tuesday.
This Tuesday.
Inherently,
Tuesday.
No, Tuesday.
The Tuesday.
The Tuesday. So, starting on Tuesday.
That's February 22nd,
our hand cannons,
2022.
Our scout rifles, and our pulse rifles will have inherent full auto. I am so looking forward to it, right? Like, there's not a downside I can see to just inherent full auto. Ah, that's so nice.
That's why I've been slapping that full auto retrofit mod into. It
Yes.
makes me smile.
Last night, so that scout rifle I was talking about, the Night Watch, right? The one that everybody uses for most of their content, right? I have rapid hit and explosive payload. And
Like you're using the
initially
Night
I would
Watch for
have to
things?
have yeah. I would initially I would have to have like a backup magazine. And I know this doesn't make any sense, but hear me out. I'd have to have the backup magazine because I would need it to like finish off the oracles and whatnot, right? But I took off my backup magazine and put on full auto. And I was able to kill all 3 oracles without having to reload for the last one. And I was like, defuh? You know, when you have full auto on a weapon like the Night Watch, it fires better. It feels better, right? You don't have to, pull, and potentially take yourself off target, especially if you're playing on mouse and keyboard, right? You just hold it down and you keep it on the target, dude. It feels so good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's one less thing to think about. I mean, that's why I slapped it on to pull. Like, I've got a Darkest before, I slapped it on, but I took an Iron Banner this week because I don't have to, especially on a fast firing pulse. If I just have to worry about keeping my reticle on target and not having to pull the trigger too, I can be more deadly and more accurate. Yeah, like it's not like changing my gameplay. It's not like, oh my god, I'm 10x better. It's like, no, it makes me a little bit better because it's one less thing I, with my old man reflexes, have to worry
I think
about.
it makes it a lot better. I put one on last season's Grid Skipper. I have a couple of God rolled Grid Skippers, and I put that bad boy on there. 100 times better. Out the box. I was like, this is dumb. This is stupid good, dude. It really is. And the next season, we're going to have it inherently. I really hope it's backwards compatible. And not just on the new scouts, the new hand cannons, the new pulse rifles.
I mean, it's going to be a setting. It's going to be a setting in the game itself. That's the full auto. I mean, so it is going to be backward compatible because it's going to be compatible to everything you're touching.
I hope.
I mean, it's an accessibility setting. That's literally why they're making it. That's why they gave us a full auto retrofit this season as a stopgap between here and there. Like, it's going to be like you go to your settings, you change your colorblind options, and you can turn on your full auto. Like, it's going to be in that accessibility setting somewhere. That's what they're building it for. So it's going to affect all the things it'll be able to affect when you toggle it on in the game. Now, is it going to be, which in my head should mean it affects everything. Like, right now, you can only put the full auto retrofit on certain weapons. Like, I mean, obviously, because something
that's going to put on certain weapons after the fact. It's still just going to be the hand cannons, pulses, and scouts. Same weapon. Yeah.
Right. Which I realized I was saying that you can't put it on things like machine guns or auto rifles because it doesn't make any sense. They're already full auto. You don't need to make them full auto.
Yeah, and they don't want to put it on every shotgun because that would.
You just blow through your ammo super quick and then be on ammo.
Well, we also have full auto shotguns specifically, and that increases their fire speed too, which is nice. But putting full auto on most shotguns, it doesn't make any sense because it's so slow firing anyway. You have 9 years to pull that trigger again. You don't need it. If it's not going to speed up your rate of fire, then there's no point on a shotgun or a rocket launcher. That would just be cheating. Full auto on a rocket launcher. Let me just blow through all 8 of these rounds on my Gallo one right quick. Right?
Well, anything you have to reload, it's not going to help your reloading. You're still reloading it, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. Oh, goodness.
So will they or won't they?
Will they or won't they? Indeed.
It's been a major question surrounding the 30th anniversary event. We have game shows. We have a weird, sarcastic horse made of stardust and puns. We have a dungeon that'll make you laugh and scream at the same time.
Made of stardust and puns?
Mm-hmm. Stardust and puns. That's what star horses are made of.
Okay.
Stardust and puns. Now you know. So, as we talked about last week, because people have been asking, hey, when does this stuff go away? When do we stop getting to play the new fun 30th anniversary things? But fret not, Yellow Horse Respawn, Yellow Horse Whisperer, fret not. Because the 30th anniversary content, both free and paid, will not be placed into the Destiny content vault with the launch of Witch Queen. They'll have another update later this year, letting us know when it's going to go away. But you can expect to enjoy your Xur-led adventures through 2022. So Don't stress out more time.
Or stress out. We're not your parents.
No,
There's
I'm
no
saying-
need for you to stress.
I am saying don't stress out. It's not worth it. It'll be fine.
He's saying don't.
hmm
Very specifically him.
I'm also saying go get your Prime Gaming loot.
Ooh, what do they have this time, Peroty?
Well, I mean, I'm saying to go get it, but I'm also saying really, walk, don't run, because they have a Pyrrhic Victory set where you can get the Pyrrhic Victory exotic emote. You can get your Hissing Silence exotic ghost, your Another Inspired Idea exotic sparrow, or your Astera Blade legendary ship. So nothing terribly exciting. The Pyrrhic Victory emote is kind of fun as you sort of get on your knees with like 2 sparklers in your hand, being like, "We won, but at what cost?"
It's the Nick Cage emote from The Rock.
Is that what that is? We won, but at what cost? I didn't know that.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Well, a Pyrrhic Victory is you've won a victory, but the losses you sustained in that victory, it's like you won, but you also lost.
Gotcha.
Like you're like the death toll in the battle is so great. It's like, yeah, you were the winners technically, but everybody's still dead.
Yeah.
I do like that emote.
Oh, I didn't put that together until you said that, and now I see it. Okay, now I got you. So yes, there's a reason to go.
You
get
have
it
to be old. 1996. The Rock, Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage.
Rock the Dwayne Johnson.
Yes,
No,
he's.
not that
They fight on him.
Trying to escape his long
I'm not getting into that.
his long
Nope.
reach. Got it.
I'm not
Mhm.
touching that one.
Hey, Peroty,
And Nitedemon.
where PSR?
Where PSR? PSR over by Cool Hat makes Super go. Brrr.
Huh?
No, okay. A PSR is apparently it's our player support team, which is comprised of superheroes.
Oh.
And they've been doing lots of superhero work.
Oh.
And now they have a report for the Guardians saying that hey, the hotfix colorblind modes that we colorblind hotfix in 3402, yeah, didn't do such a good job. We're gonna look into that again.
Yeah,
apparently
just personal favor, Bungie, if you're listening to the show, personal favor. This time, when you go into the colorblind settings,
instead of gray, make them neon green, polka dots. Maybe
that would
plaid.
actually work. Yo, make it just some obnoxiously bright color for the Hellfires. Hell yeah, I'd be okay
Mhm.
with that.
What if they gave all of like the Fallen all little like red plaid vests? Would that help? Would that make it better?
Well, not if you're red colorblind. No.
Oh, fair enough. So we're right back to gray again. So Respawn, have you seen your Steam silver balance go negative? Because
No,
apparently there's
luckily
an
no.
issue-
I have a positive 1700 right now, so luckily
Well, that's
no.
good. Well, apparently there's an issue resulting in players on Steam being incorrectly shown large negative silver balances, and negative silver purchase histories have been resolved. So players who encounter this issue should log back out, basically turn it off and on again, and your silver balance should actually show as correct. So it was never taking your silver away; it was just showing you were deeply, deeply in silver debt. They did, again, they put the hotfix out. It fixed some things, including the things we've already talked about. So, yeah. Although I don't think they said the Xenology quest from Zerg can now be recovered if deleted, and the Challengers Proving 5 now successfully unlocks after players complete the Challengers Proving 4. So if you've been stuck there, you should be not stuck anymore, hopefully. And the beautiful Windows 95 Dressicate emblem now appears in collections. The Watcher Shade shader, the best name for a shader ever, Shade Shader, will now be granted upon completion in the Gift Sub Bounty. And really, if you haven't gifted people like 2 subs to get your Dressicate emblem, the one that looks like a broken Windows 95, go out and do it. It's the best emblem ever. Delete all the rest of them. You don't need them anymore. Just put this one on.
I don't know, man. Laser Tag
Nope.
Weekend is still by far my favorite.
Yeah, it's my second favorite. It's up there. It's close, but it's a second. And again,
I mean,
there wouldn't be
there you
fixes
go.
without bugs.
Right.
So if you are seeing an increase in marmot errors, MARMOT, there's an increase in those errors. Don't know when or why or who or how, but apparently they're increasing. The marmots are gathering at our borders.
Oh no.
And they're investigating reports of the Wicked Overgrowth shader didn't unlock in collections for some players after the 3402 hotfix. So if your Wicked Overgrowth shader is not there, then wait longer.
Did you just go Boston there for a second?
Mm-hmm. Because really,
Okay.
I mean, I can't see Wicked anything without thinking of an accent to my brain. So, not to say that was a good one, but that's how it reads in my head.
No, I caught it. I mean, it was enough for me to notice the change, so it wasn't that bad.
Did you see Callus Stays movie of the week?
No.
So this for those of you old and young who've been on TikTok for any amount of time in the past year, this was a whole meme going around of people dancing to this song using a drone to fly. And what's his name? Pablito Savage has put together a video of Callus singing to this song. It's phenomenal. It is the movie of the week. It deserves to be the movie of the week. That is all.
Peroty called it phenomenal. That's nothing to scoff at, by the way.
It is also Deacon approved at a svelte 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Is that what it takes for Deacon to approve? Just something to be not very long Destiny related?
Yes.
Yeah. and I think we're 2 for 2 because Operation Save the New Lights is also just under 3.5 minutes. But about a run to go save New Lights and Dares of Eternity. So both movies of the week, both Deacon approved.
Yeah. And if you did participate in Operation Save New Light, as long as you've participated in doing Dares of Eternity by the 18th, so you've got until Tuesday reset, you should get the new emblem at some point as a thank you. If you did or you didn't. But if you did, then you did. So yeah, like Peroty and myself, we did. We deliberately lowered our light and went in at ridiculous levels and helped 1 or 2 guardians that needed help.
We did. I'm hoping the fact that we didn't see too many means they've all either A, gotten frustrated and put the game away and never to come back again, or B, have eventually gotten through and can now play the game. So good job.
Bungie said they fixed it so that 1100 is actually 1100 now. So maybe you're just not needed. Maybe it was.
No, this was before the hotfix.
Yeah, this was before the hotfix.
Okay.
Before the hotfix, but after the call had gone out all across the Bungie social mediums and all the streamers had already jumped in with people. I think the first one I jumped into, it was like season pass 900, 700, 600, 2 new lighters, and then me at like 300 something. It's like, don't worry, we got you. Get into the bag. We will carry you to victory.
Wow.
So it just cracked me up, like the entire spectrum of Destiny from day 1 to day 4,320.
Oh my god, what was the number? Damn it, I can't remember the exact number. Sorry, but
42.
there was a guy I saw over the weekend that had a season's level, season score, season rank of like 1,480 or something insane. I was like, damn, dude, bro. Like, how
much of that is AFK farming and how much of that is actual literal gameplay?
I don't even know how to AFK farm. That's crazy, dude. That is crazy.
You go to the Shattered Throne, the throwaway.
And then do something, and you can just sit there for hours.
Who's your buddy Fuzco? Because I'm going to call him out. Did that at the beginning of the season.
Gasp.
No.
Anyway, for those asking, the Threads of Lost Ventures into Looking Good continues, and they've already seen so many incredible submissions. They'll be sharing their next batch of winners here soon. But for now, keep inspiring us with those looks. What's looks? Looks. Why don't I just put looks? I don't know what that word is. To enter, share a shot of your Guardian's appearance page. Use the hashtag Threads of Light on Instagram or Twitter. You can also tag at Destiny the Game on our accounts for all your regions for more visibility. And they'll have more to share over the next couple of weeks, including more on Gambit, weapon crafting, and a few other goodies that they can't wait to show off. So stay tuned, and in the meantime, stay fresh and be kind.
I can do one of those things.
The respawn.
What up?
The people want it.
You got to give it to them. Don't leave the people wanting.
Yes.
Don't leave them hungry, thirsting.
Time for the Respawns Report Roundup.
It is my turn to do stuff. I got stuff to do. Move this over here. Where is my stuff at? It's Respawns Report Roundup. That did not make any sense. No, I'm totally done saying it. I'm sorry. Paul Tassi replies to this one right here. Says, this is from K. Omar. Sandbox lead Kevin Yanes retweeted this, so I think that solidifies that. So referring to the tweet, annual expansions are a good time for system level changes since they get so much more playtest time over a longer duration compared to a normal season. We don't like that the desire for exotic catalysts is largely driven by the orbs of power generation they provide. No, who said that? Look, catalysts for exotic weapons are wanted because they change the behavior of the exotic weapons and 9 times out of 10 make them better. I could give a damn less if it generated orbs. It helps, but the reason people want them is because it makes the weapons better. But who tells you these things? Who's lying to you, Bungie? Point them out to me because they're giving you bad info, dude. Anyway, so skipping that sentence because that's just a lie. Weapon differentiation. If I have 2 void adaptive hand cannons, one from the Suros Foundry and one from the latest raid, why do I care about one more than the other? The stats tend to be fairly close. Perk pools can be different, but there are only so many perks. And if it's a stretch to say that the perk pool gives the weapon its identity, we've got something shipping on all new and reissued weapons in the Witch Queen that addresses the issue directly, and we are working to expand the same solution to all weapons that drop in the future. All weapons are going to get all perks. Congratulations. I'm joking. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like in order to address the issue of weapons being identified by their perk pool, sounds like they're all going to have the same perk pools. It's going to be weird. We mentioned in the last patch notes that we're done with special ammo economy in PvP and have a further tweak coming out that should help bring down the amount of ammo floating around. Exotic primary weapons already advance ammo finder mods much faster, but we want them to feel better in hard PvE content and are adjusting all of them to reach this goal. We're adjusting some exotics, some that consistently top the PvP usage charts in an oppressive way, some that have had their perks limited to a degree that's no longer warranted. We're looking at you, Chaperone. Yes, Chaperone. What's the hand cannon? The Cades, man.
Ace of Spades?
Thank you. Ace of Spades and Chaperone are so predominant. Crazy. So this is from Commander Flynn. Bungie's aversion to legend matchmaking. Hasn't been explained anywhere about Bungie's aversion to include matchmaking to activities like Ash Rolls, Dares, Legends of Difficulty. For activities like Grasp, I can sort of understand. I still think it's really bad to not have some form of matchmaking for all activities for those that don't care and just want to jump in without having to navigate 300 LFG discords. Thank you. Or sites and not want to deal with other personal issues that can make using things such a challenge. Yes, but playing devil's advocate, it also sucks going into one of these with a team that's not prepared. Like if you have a Grandmaster Nightfall, for example, that let's say they have matchmaking and everybody comes in solar, well, now you don't have Void or Arc to take care of the other shields. You're boned, right? So there are 2 sides to that coin. I can go both ways on that one. This one is from DMG. Good feedback. I personally feel this could have the opposite effect, though. We've seen quite a few players drop off that simple quest of completing a few bounties or doing specific strikes. Asking newer players to find specific lost sectors, figure out what mods to wear, and to complete them to potentially on their own may just end up dissuading them from ever trying a legend activity, rather than hitting up an LFG to get into some cool seasonal content and potentially making some friends along the way. Locked loadouts can be tricky business. While many of us on this subreddit are highly proficient in crafting loadouts and understanding what needs to be equipped before launching in, many players need the LFG components so party leaders can walk them through the mods and equip and what steps would be. See, that's what I was saying right there. He just read me. And no, I didn't read ahead because why? In the long run, it would be pretty awkward to have 6 players matchmake into Legend Dares run, none of which have anti-barrier mod equipped or arc shields for those pesky harpies. Whew. I know there will be an onslaught of comments noting that this activity feels easy. I agree after thousands of hours in D2 and knowing the sandbox like the back of my hand, no anti-barrier, Fine. We'll just burn things down with a quick sleeper thanks to particle deconstruction. The thing is, there's a massive community of players out there who don't know these tricks or even have great loot to take on the challenge. Many could easily be frustrated and quit out of an activity that's taking too long. Others could just walk around shooting things and ignoring the objectives. Even if we had a relatively simple intro quest hand-holding someone through the mechanics of in-game content, it is not a guarantee that they will memorize them. The only thing that I think makes the new activity, air quotes, easy is the fact that you can get infinite heavy ammo. Although ridiculously fun, does make it also ridiculously easy. And hello game, how you doing? Iron Banner as an example. Many show up for the sweet loot and pinnacles from bounties. I disagree on the sweet loot. I do. I actually played this season, did all my bounties, turned in hundreds of tokens, didn't get a single good thing out of it. So, sweet loot, air quotes right here, and pinnacles from bounties. Do they cap zones? Nope! We still see threads often on this very subreddit asking, why don't people cap zones with every event? Imagine, every week, top threads complaining about people not knowing to throw balls at the blight for the taken encounter. Flashbacks. Hold on, calm down. He's addressing it. Okay. Or players wasting Vex heads on red bars when they're meant for bosses. While it is by no means a solution, pushing players into LFG experiences to have those gear checks and push for those conversations help prevent them from this happening. But yeah, no, definitely. Again, devil's advocate. So yeah, he said what I would have said. So for once, I agree with him.
I do feel that there is a way that they could do it. Very similar to how it won't let you go into an activity at the moment unless you have the right loadout. You remember when we had Leviathan,
but how would
and
you
we
do
had
that? How would you, when it comes to loadouts where you need one solar, one arc, one void, right? That's why your team splits it between each other. How would you do that in that instance?
You remember when we had Leviathan and we had the two, what were they called? The mini raids that we had.
Like Spiral Stars?
Spiral Stars and the other one. I can't remember the name. So initially in Destiny 2 we had like Leviathan raid, and then we had two mini raids that were taking place in Leviathan.
Yep.
And there were, if you wanted to do the harder version of it, it had special requirements, which meant that you had to, for that week, it would say you need auto rifles, sniper rifles, and a grenade launcher. And it would tell you what one you'd need in each slot. And it wouldn't let you into the activity until you actually put those things onto your characters. Now, it would let you swap out a grenade launcher for another grenade launcher, but if you tried to swap it whilst in the activity for a rocket launcher, it wouldn't let you do that. So there are ways that Bungie could do that. If somebody selected like they do for, because if you notice on like some of the planet locations where you have a raid, there is the raid, and then down to the side of it, it has the beta version of looking for a raid group, which gives you a chance to you go in, you go, yes, I submit to the fact that, I'm going to be nice and happy and friendly, or I'm going to Sherpa these people through, and it'll pair you up. Now, if they could do something where it puts you into orbit with that team, you then coordinate what you need to do, or the game won't let you into said activity until you've actually made your proper selection. And then it gives somebody, the fire team leader, to the opportunity to go, yes, we're ready to go, or you all have to push the button, yes, we all accept that we're ready to go. It checks your loadout, it then loads you into the activity. I don't see that there wouldn't be an issue there. I mean, I'm sure I've played many a game.
Only the issue is like programming all of that.
Like with Halo, I'm sure that the original Gears of War, it would put you into a lobby with all the people that you'd see people flicking backwards and forwards, which, I mean, there was only like 3 or 4 different builds or characters that you could choose from in the original Gears of War, but people would flick backwards and forwards through the different characters so that they weren't the same as somebody else. Then you'd all push A to say that you're ready. Once everybody's pushed A in the lobby, it would then load you into the game. I I don't see why there couldn't be an issue for that. That, you know, if you're going into a Grandmaster, it says, right, this is the loadout that you need to have. You need to have a barrier champion. You need to have an overload mod. And the game knows that you've got that selected and you've got those weapons to actually let you into that activity. And then once you've all selected that, you've all pushed A, it then locks your loadout, takes you into the event. There is a way of doing it.
I would just, man, instead of doing all that's really complicated. The game could just do an easy check. You know, like, you know, does at least one person on the team have an anti-barrier? Yes. Does at least one person on the team have an unstoppable? Yes. Does at least one person have a void? Yes. Does at least one person have a solar? Yes. They can just do a simple Boolean. Run through their loadouts.
But that's what I'm saying.
And then if they all have it, then it'll highlight the button so you can continue. If somebody doesn't have a thing, the button won't highlight and it'll flash. Like, you know how like when you go to start content and somebody doesn't have content, so it flashes their name, says, hey, they don't have this. They can do something like that. You know? Whatever. But like, yeah, it is super complicated to program otherwise, though.
I say it just holds them in orbit until the game has assessed or they've communicated what they're actually ready to do. Once they're ready to do it, they push A and go into it. Automatic LFG, I think that's what we should call it. Anyway,
we have quite a bit to do to improve our LFG experience too. While I have personally had some success on Find Fireteam, I didn't even know that was a thing. While I personally had some success on Find Fireteam, I guess this is an app or a website or
it's on the Destiny app.
Something? Is it?
If you go to the Destiny app on your phone or your tablet and go to Find a Fireteam, they've actually got a built-in LFG that you could then use.
Okay. We've also seen the reports of poor experiences, general abuse, and or difficulty staying in fire teams when using LFG tools. While matchmaking would solve a small bit of that by removing a party leader's ability to boot, it still opens up to some poor experiences with locked loadouts. So don't lock them. With all that said, please keep throwing that feedback our way. It is by no means a we'll never add matchmaking to in-game experiences kind of reply. But I'm just jamming through some thoughts from conversations I've had with designers when previously talking through this feedback. We might be closed down for holidays, but I can still snag some feedback between sips of hot chocolate so long as the power stays on during our weird, snowy holiday. Now, here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Destiny locks our loadout in order to add a degree of difficulty. But if they didn't lock our loadout, they could have more fun and more shenanigans by forcing us to change loadouts mid activity, right? So I don't know, like
yeah, it's called normal version.
I mean, but you're not forced. If you have the right loadout, you're never forced to swap your loadout, right? Because everybody's got something for every occasion, right? But what if you couldn't? What if there was like a fourth thing that you had to have on somebody, and everybody can only have like one thing, right? And then Bungie throws a fourth in the mix. Well, this forces you to change loadouts. At least one person does between point A and point B. Right? So you could potentially find a way to add a degree of difficulty without locking loadouts, but I don't know. That's just moving on to Liana Rupert. F5. She retweeted, I guess. I don't know how these tweets work, guys. I'm sorry. Siren has a problem. Is this guy? No. His name is NerdFab16. Okay. Oh, Dirty F and Harpy. Oh, Hippie. That's the relations lady. Okay.
That's the community manager, new one. Yeah.
Yeah. Question. Will Masterwork weapons still provide orbs? And the new mods are just for giving non-Masterwork. See, that's what I was talking about. Yes, that should be a thing. What this guy says. Masterwork weapons should still provide orbs, but the new mods are for weapons that can't be Masterwork yet, or that you just don't feel like Masterwork. Or is the entire system being changed to where the only way to generate orbs with this weapon is through mods? DMG said, per the TWAB, orb generation and weapon multi-kills will no longer be a function of a weapon's Masterwork status, but will instead be provided by a suite of armor mod. So very plain. It's Masterwork weapons do not drop orbs. So aside from giving you a boost in one stat, it sounds like Masterwork weapon doesn't do anything for you. TMG says, stay tuned for a future weapons focused TWAB. Lots of fun news to cover in the next few weeks. He's replying to a Kujay who says, I'm seeing people being upset about orb generation being based on armor mods instead of weapon masterwork status, but is there a potentially huge upside? Oh, sorry, but there is a potentially huge upside. Well, let's see what that
Basically,
is.
stay tuned, yeah.
Yeah. Josh, at Not Angry, by the way, is talking to DMG. He says, the issues with the colorblind mode are still present. As a colorblind person who can't really see radar or effectively play PvP without them, I literally cannot play Iron Banner right now, which as a PvP main means it's pointless for me to even play Destiny. Is there a fix soon? He says, team was targeting next week. Stay tuned for Bungie help updates. I don't guess you need to take a drink. He did say next week, but still kind of meh. V, Ancient Internet Cryptid at Ultra. I don't know how to say it. Says, would it be possible to add a customization option for UI color settings to alleviate the issues and appease both colorblind visually impaired and non-colorblind visually impaired players? He says, not in the short term, but it's something I can discuss with folks to see if it's possible for the future. Great feedback, and thanks for the reply. You don't need to take a drink because there was really nothing to say there. Passing along reports of issues with colorblind settings after the most recent hotfix. If you're encountering difficulties, give us some details. Number 1, what settings do you use? Number 2, what are you having difficulty seeing after the recent patch? Screenshots help a ton. Thanks. From the team, current plan is to revert back to pre-3.4.0.2 version of our next hotfix. Thank you, because at least it was working then. The team will do a more thorough investigation into how the colors are being used in unexpected places. We will revisit this with a more thorough plan and make time to iterate. You really didn't tell us much except for you reverting to the previous patch. He also says, don't have a specific timeline on future changes, damn it, but many of the team are eager to improve our colorblind settings. Many apologies for the inconvenience here, and we'll get more info to y'all when we can. You notice the thing that really aggravates me is they went months, not even months, like a year, colorblind being broken, right? They finally fixed it for a couple of weeks. We all get our colorblind settings back, and I say we all. I don't know what percentage of us are out there. But we get our colorblind settings back, and then immediately gets broken, and now there's this big uproar about it. And thank goodness people are opening their mouth, because last time it was like a year before Bungie finally did something about it. So
well,
everybody,
you were in the small subsection, weren't you, where you were affected? Because you did.
Yeah.
You said for quite a while that there was something wrong with it. They then fixed it, and you were happy. And then it looks like they went on to make additional changes or make things better in that last patch at the beginning of the week, which has then broken everything that they'd done previous. So that's why they're reverting it, and they're going to figure out what they've done wrong.
I don't know if they've reverted yet. It's kind
not
of
yet. They're going to.
So like my bars change colors now. They're no longer yellow, right? But they're not really pink either. They're like a red kind of verging on pink. Whereas last time they're bright flamingo pink, can't miss it, really bright color, right? Now those pink bars are more of a deep reddish pink kind of color, and then all the other bars are gray, right? So I'm like, you broke it worse, man. It's like, damn. Issues with, and this is today, like while I was playing today, right? I reset my colorblind settings again to see if any changes were made, and as of today, as of while we're recording this, what I just described is what I'm seeing from my colorblind setting, and I have the Tritanopia, the last one.
Titanopia. Yeah, you were Titan.
The yellow colorblind one, yeah. Issues regarding negative silver balances and yada yada yada. We're investigating an issue. Keep an eye on it.
You didn't read the cool guy one.
Where's the cool guy?
Just above the silver balances.
Is it? I thought I did. Oh, I did skip that. My bad. Cool guy. PvP maps are always something that we want, but in the meantime, map rotations would do wonders. For real. Why do we have all these maps and we keep getting the same one? Sorry. A similar decision would go a long way. Vault, that one thing that they could do. I know what Bungie does. Bungie randomizes each individual group's encounters, right? Why not, like on a server level, Bungie, hear me out here, right? Because I had to do this for one of my projects for college. On the server level, for 10 minutes, everybody who plays PvP gets this map. For the next 10 minutes, everybody that plays PvP gets this map, or 5 minutes, or whatever. For the next 10 minutes, everybody that plays PvP gets this map, etc., etc. Don't do it based on teams or individuals. Make it a server-wide thing, Because each match takes, 5 minutes or so? So make it so that every 5 minutes, server-wide, the maps change, Every now and again, a guy might get a map twice in a row, whatever, but that's only if his match only lasted 2 or 3 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But as a whole, I think that would really alleviate a lot of people's complaints about map rotation. Just put it on a server rotation, dude. Put all of your maps on a server rotation in order and just cycle that, Because then maybe even people would know what's coming next, right? So you played enough, you're a PvP main long enough, you know that, hey, we're on this map, so that means next map is going to be this. Ooh, I love the next map, right? And you get hyped for the next map. Or you might want to skip the next map. Hey, now I can take a 5-minute break to go get something to drink because I don't want to play the next map. There's a lot of things that could happen, both good and bad, from doing that, right? But I see more good in having server-wide map rotations on a loop than bad. So if you do this, Bungie, my name is No One Respawns in Real Life, right?
Just respawn.
You could, because I know you sponsor some people, you could sponsor us for these ideas, right? I would say, royalties or whatever, but a sponsorship would work just as fine. But yeah, I'm just saying. Cool guy, Vault, Dead Cliffs, Convergence, Twilight Gap to Fortress, Add Back, Solitude, Meltdown, Retribution, Gambler's Ruin. DMG says, I remember Gambler's Ruin, Meltdown, and Solitude all having incredibly similar spawn issues to Dead Cliffs in 6v6. Sandbox was a bit different back then, but it was easy to lock a team down in a small zone for repeat spawns and domination. What do you dislike about Fortress? He also replies, and to remind folks, totally fine sharing opinions and debating maps. Let's keep it civil. Love seeing feedback on this kind of stuff. Okay. Next one was the silver thing we already discussed earlier. Now, happening in Destiny 2 right now. Season of the Lost. Destiny's current season is poised for an epic conclusion as the events lead directly into the launch of the Witch Queen. Mara Sov, Queen of the Awoken, is close to freeing Savathûn. By freeing, I think what they're trying to say is rid her of her worm. From Destiny News, from today's press release for hashtag Destiny 2 News, the Witch Queen trailer. Spoilers next up. Lots of spoilers. Be warned, 10-second warning, leaks. Spoilers next up. Lots of spoilers. Be warned, 10-second warning, leaks. And...
Is that 10 seconds? Have you given
Go.
people 10 seconds? Have you given them the official 10 seconds?
Hey, you're the editor. You give them 10 seconds.
Yeah, but you've got 10 seconds to your Twitch people, because they might not want to know.
Well, I mean, you and I arguing has definitely been more than 10 seconds. So
I think we should preference this, that these are leaks that could spoil the Witch Queen.
Okay, sure. Nizara, at my Nizara, Mixed Nizara, MX Nizara, I don't know, dude. Chick, whatever, person.
Him.
Major characters include Savathûn, Ghost, Ikora, Hive Ghost Vendor. What? Hive Ghost Vendor? Minor characters include Witness, Eris, I guess she's coming back, Savathûn's Ghost, and Mara. Mars and the Hive ship will have 3 to 5 load zones between them. Europa will gain 1 to 2 new load zones. So, what else has 3 to 5 load zones? EDZ. EDZ is a pretty sizable map. So if this has 3 to 5 load zones, we're looking at something roughly the size or bigger than the EDZ, I'm hoping.
Possibly.
Yeah, and Europa will gain 2 more load zones, so thank goodness.
So take all of these with a pinch of salt, because these leaks may not be 100% verified.
A grain, not a pinch.
Just a grain. Could come true. Might not come true.
Who knows? Same dude. Savathûn's Throne World will have 21 load zones total. Oh, that's load zone, man. I'm thinking of like landing zone.
Yeah, when you
Never
go
mind.
into a different
Yeah,
zone.
yeah. 14 public-private load zones, 3 lost sectors, and 4 raid zones. 4 raid zones. Good lord.
How many zones do you have in like Deepstone Crypt?
I think 5, 4 or 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many do we have in Vault of Glass? There's the initial
Every encounter
area.
is its own load, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I think you have 6.
Okay.
Yeah, because you have the 3 ones with the oracles in the beginning, and then you have to fight the Cyclops. That's 1, 2, and 3. And then you have where you gotta run do the chat strat past all the harpies. And then you have phase 1 of Atheon and phase 2 of Atheon. So I think that's 6.
Okay.
Or
it might just be the zones that there's something you have to do in. Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, actually, 7.
Yeah.
Possible. Are they including the zones between encounters?
I don't know.
Wow.
I know nothing.
Because if we do that, then that's 3, 4.
Maybe it's just 4.
5,
Maybe it should be 4 boss
6.
encounters. Maybe it's not even that.
7, 8. It would be 8.
As I said,
if you include the transitions, you're looking at 8 or 9. Well, 8.
Okay.
Yeah, 8. Yeah. Same dude. When you transition from one area to another, and it has the name of the area show up in the bottom left, that's known in the code as a bubble. I listed them as load zones here because it was a little less jargony, but essentially it just means unique named area. Oh, that answers our question. So that does include the area between areas because that has its own name.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough. Nizara. The campaign will also contain 5 in-game cinematics with your Guardian, 4 CGI cinematics, and 2 slideshows. There will also be 4 lore books and 30 lore tabs.
Lots of collecting there.
Same dude. Man, this dude posted a lot of stuff. So it's going to be the same dude for a minute. All right. The Witch Queen campaign will contain 8 story missions. 2 of these missions will be of presage level quality. 3 of these missions will be the quality of standard story missions, and a further 3 will be more akin to adventures. And there will be a post-campaign pursuit. A post-campaign pursuit, whatever that be. Witch Queen will also contain 2 strikes, 1 during the campaign and 1 post-campaign. There will be 2 exotic quests, and the raid will contain an RNG exotic weapon drop, as they do.
Mm-hmm.
The raid will likely take place within the split open pyramid inside Savathûn's throne world. The raid will contain 2 bosses. The final boss would be the Witness, and the raid is likely to contain Hive and Taken enemy types. Oh my god, dude. Do the Taken have ghosts? Oh god, no! No!
It doesn't say that.
Oh, I hope not. Dude, the little teleporty with ghosts? Oh, I'd lose my mind. Or the ones that split? Oh,
the raid boss sounds interesting because that's very the
Witness.
Is that the entity that we kind of came across at the end of? Was it the Garden of Salvation?
The robed figure.
The one that looked like us when it appeared in the cutscene.
Oh, I don't know. Good question. The Witch Queen will contain a 6-man activity known as Scornucopia. Nice play on words there, Bungie. A high enemy density activity focused on Scorn, the worst enemy type in the game. I meant it won't be okay. So this is from Quantum Riot 7 at Ethan Neal 1, replying to MX Nizara. I mean, it won't be according to Bungie. He's replying to a figure. Oh, it looks like that cutscene where the Guardians are charging all those guys with ghosts. Yeah. Conflict Eternal. A new 6-player match-made activity at the heart of the ongoing struggle for the throne world. The balance must be maintained. Scornucopia is a separate 6-man activity to this. So 2 6-man activities are coming with the Witch Queen, but not necessarily having to do with the Witch Queen.
Well, maybe the Conflict Eternal is a bit like the Altars of Sorrow, where you could just kind of turn up and it's a kind of public event, and it's an ongoing thing. You can kind of jump into it
It's not a 6-man activity. That's however many people can fit in a server, which I think is 9. It's like a 9-man activity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that. I don't know. Just ignore me.
Yeah. The fact that it's specified 6-man means it's a thing that you have to load into. Now it could be like like on in the Dreaming City, the well, right? The well you can only have 6 people in there, and you can just kind of walk in. Could be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew what I was thinking.
I mean, that's why we're here, and I think that's it. Yeah, it looks like that's everything. Yep.
Oh, good.
Huzzah!
Your Twitch people can return now if they want to.
My Twitch people can return. I don't think they know that they can return if they're not here.
Exactly.
Oh goodness. All right. What's next? Tips, tricks, guides, builds, trees,
Yes.
trunks, and stuff.
Now, I did pick out the same video as you, but if you put this in the chat, didn't you? Because you've highlighted it about the
I mean, if you've
shotgun
already
that we were all
picked it out,
wrong
that's
about.
fine.
No, you
Yeah.
can talk about it. Tell us what shotgun were we all wrong about? Jar?
The comedian.
Mhm.
I think. Yeah, the comedian.
Yep.
So the comedian. It might not exceed in any particular category. So it might not exceed in PvP or it might not exceed in PvE. But one thing it is good at is continual enemy slaughtering and getting your super back very quickly. Because I believe it's the only shotgun in the game that can roll with subsistence and thresh. I think. Because I think the new shotgun can roll with subsistence and vorpal, but not subsistence and thresh. Let me double check that before I lie to you.
Look, at the end of the day, Jar recommends it because it can roll with certain perks that either generate your super really quickly, or just and have unlimited ammo and ammo
Well, not
reserves.
unlimited ammo. You never have to reload. Is the thing.
On
right?
his video, it says fast supers and unlimited ammo. I'm just quoting what Jarv is saying.
Right, but I don't want to lead people astray.
No, let's Jarv lead them astray. We're just telling them to watch his video. That will lead them astray.
It is a good video. So, well, let me just find that new shotgun because what the hell's it called? Wastelander.
Yes, the Wastelanders, quite a popular one.
That's my favorite so far because of the subsistence. Yeah, that's why it just makes it so fun. So I was correct. Yeah, it can roll. It can roll with subsistence, but the last slot you can only get 1-2 punch, trench barrel, adagio, harmony, killing wind, or opening shot. You cannot get thresh on the wasteland. So uniquely, the comedian you can get thresh and subsistence on that gun, and that's good for a couple of reasons. Subsistence, especially with a shotgun, you only need the one shot usually to kill an enemy. And then you get that round right back in your magazine to continue the rampage. Some of the higher tier yellows might take a few shots, you finish them off, and then you get one round back in your magazine to continue your rampage again, right? And this whole time you're getting these kills, you're also, getting super energy from Thresh, right? And then you have the mods on give you shotgun ammo, lots of shotgun ammo as you're going on, and it's a whole build. But basically, the comedian, especially because that can come adept, so you can get the adept comedian, still has those same perks, but it has better stats, and you can put adept mods on it, making it even better. So yeah, that gun exceeds in PvE super generation and just insane rampage. You could potentially take it into PvP to help, build your super, and then when you kill a guardian, you load a round back in the magazine again. So technically it works for both, but it's better for PvE than PvP with this build. Mostly because you don't have the same range on the shotgun as you would with, the comedian or some of these other long reach shotguns that one shot you from halfway across the map,
Yeah. And to get your adept comedian, you have to do the Grandmaster version of the Nightfall. And I think, I may be wrong about this, but I think the comedian will be up next week in the loot pool.
Well, it was up last week and this week. Because last week, I got
you got
3
it this week, did you?
No, I didn't get any this week. I got it last week when it was that and a different weapon. It was that and the Swarm. That's right. So I was
Okay.
getting that and the Swarm last week. This week it's that or the Shadow Price auto rifle. So if they're having it next week, that's 3 weeks in a row to get
Maybe
the
not
shotgun.
then. I
if
don't
19
know.
is right.
I don't know the rotation. I didn't realize it was already up again this week.
Yeah.
I thought it would be up like every couple of weeks, but okay. It'll be up in the rotation at some point, so just keep your ears to the ground and see what's available for the Grandmasters each week. Because I believe it's one new one and one old, or the last season's rotation of weapons, isn't it, that's available?
Yes. Yeah, okay. You threw me off there for a second. I was like, what? Yeah.
So if you are interested in looking at a better breakdown of the trailer that we had dropped this week, then you can go and check out Alistair Cross's video, because he talks a bit more coherently than we did about it and doesn't go off on tangents for half an hour. So I'll link that in the show notes. The guys over at the TDT have decided to put together a really good video this week regarding Crucible having a problem and it to do with matchmaking and people falling off. And they've come up with a really unique idea of setting up their own kind of private lobbies for Control. And you can head over to their Discord and find out all the information about it, and they do go over it in the video. But it's essentially people continually playing the game and playing it in a safe environment and not having to worry about people wielding like the top, I think it was the top 20 weapons in PvP. So there is a long list from the Charlemagne bot that you can kind of look up, or it does have it in their Discord, because I did check it out, of what weapons you're not allowed to take into these Control matches. Also in their Discord is a list of people who are hosting these matches that you can then ask to join, or they'll post to say that they've got spots available, and they want to kind of keep these lobbies open until the Witch Queen arrives. So they want continuous players to come and join them and have fun. Check out the video, and in the description links is their Discord link, so you can go and find out all about that. I thought that was really nice thing that they're trying to do. Ebontis and Fallout this week have got some of the weapons that you may want to look at for going into the Witch Queen. Fallout Plays has got his top most wanted god rolls in Destiny, and he explains why. And Ebontis goes over the top 15 weapons to get before the Witch Queen, which includes pursuits, exotics, umbrals, and engram focusing. So if you're new to Destiny and you're kind of looking at maybe wanting to kind of look at some of the better weapons to take into future content, those guys have kind of got you covered for that. Castle Content this week did a really good video on the new features that have come to Destiny Item Manager, with how you can build your loadouts, and using the D2 Armor Picker website as well to select different armor builds, and the positives and the negatives between using both of them. Some things that you can now do in DIM that you can't do in the Destiny 2 Armor Picker, but he goes over why you might want to still use both of them at the same time. So check that video out.
Well, you have to use them both at the same time, because that, although will tell you what armor to use, you need the dim to find and drag it over. Yeah.
Sort of,
So,
yeah.
You always use them both.
Also, there's the I'm not sure whether it's a new feature, but he points out there's a feature that you could basically share your loadout on Destiny Item Manager and give it to your friend, and they can build the same loadout as you, or very similar, because depending on what they've got armor wise.
Yeah, exactly.
It will kind of help build that out. But he goes into a bit more detail of it, so he explains why.
Nice.
Also, Cami Cakes this week did Iron Banner God Rolls and why you might want to go after them. So I know we've got Iron Banner this week, but potentially we've got one more Iron Banner coming up before the Witch Queen. So check that video out. So if you miss Iron Banner this week, there may be some of the weapons that you may be able to get going into the Witch Queen or further expansions, but have a look at that. Above did a good video this week, 10 essential PvE tips to improve at Destiny 2. So this is going from noob to pro, as he puts it. Very good for new light players coming into the game, of what not to do, what to do with regards of how to play the game and different things. So check that one out. Spider Sides this week with his transmog fashion has got Skeletor for the hunters. So if you want to look like Skeletor from He-Man, he's got a build for you for that.
Nice.
A really good one from Plunder the Booty this week. was the best Trials build. It was so toxic but good. And this is a Destiny 2 Warlock build using the enhanced Axiom bolts. That's the one.
Ah.
So using Axiom bolts, they rolled into Trials with 3 Warlocks using Axiom bolts. These things have been enhanced so much that they literally, all 3 of them were throwing the Axiom bolts and killing the opposite team. And they, with the build that he's put together, can get his Axiom bolt back in about 21, 22 seconds.
Yeah, but one hunter by itself can't do that.
Not
You know,
Hunter, Warlock.
Warlock, sorry. Yeah,
Yes, he can. One Warlock can get it back, but they were rolling into Trials with 3 of them.
Well, I'm talking
which
about
was-
the one Axiom bolt can't secure a kill from full health.
No, but he said it's literally you throw out the Axiom bolt. They'll either shoot the Axiom bolt, shoot you, or run away. So you've got a better chance at kind of just doming them or just hitting them with a hand cannon. There's gameplay, there's a setup. Go check it out. I know you're a bit dubious about this one, but look at it. It's really interesting. And to follow up on that one,
Yeah.
Brave X Hero did a get 1 hit kill Axiom Bolt Adrenaline Junkie build. Now this again is with the Warlock, so you could look at both of the videos and think of how to kind of spec into it. Because I believe in the Plunder the Booty video, he was like, you could put any exotic with this. But Brave X Hero goes one step further with what exotics you want to kind of put on. I believe it was the Eye of Another World, which gives you... So its exotic perk is Cerebral Uplink. Highlights priority targets and improves the regeneration speed of your grenades, melee, and rift abilities. So pairing this with some of the mods that you can put on your gauntlets and your class item in regenerating your grenades can get this down to really, really fast speeds. Also, the Verity's Brow is the 4th magic. Weapon final blows with a damage type that matches your subclass element grants death throws, which provides a grenade damage bonus and grants you grenade energy. So when you have death throws, you can throw a grenade. Nearby allies gain increased grenade regeneration for a short period. So if you're running 3 Warlocks with this build, we're throwing out the Axiom bolts and you're wearing Verity's Brows, you're doing all the kind of dropping your rifts to then regenerate, give your grenades a bump in your regeneration, and you're getting all the other, like you're getting bonus from getting damage and bonus kills. This could be really potentially nasty in PvP. So check out both those videos. That's Brave X Hero and the Plunder the Booty, because they pair really well together. As I said, Froggy did a post-patch Grasp of Avarice out of bounds.
Let's back up a second, though.
Go on. Back up in a second.
You said Brave X Heroes and Plunder the Booty pair up well together. In that order.
What does that mean?
Brave X Heroes, Plunder the Booty. They pair up well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In that order. Sorry, kids.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? You said it.
Anyway, as I said, Froggy has done a post-patch Fallen Shield Cheese post-patch for the Grasp of Avarice. Check that out. Abbey Hour did a video on better than particle deconstruction with Grandmaster Nightfall solar builds with Withering Heat. Now, this is a mod that you can get from your artifact, which if you spec into a solar subclass and you get like grenade damage, melee damage, any ability damage on an enemy, it gives you, I think it affects champions basically. And she was using the Galahorn with this, literally downing like the champions in a Grandmaster Nightfall really, really quickly. So it's not kind of stay back, pepper them. It's like you throw out your fusion grenade, you get the damage on them, they're suppressed. You can just Galahorn one rocket, that's it. They're down and out for the count. So check that video out because that was quite interesting. And finally, Sneaky Beaver. I knew you were going to laugh. Has his Witch Queen prep guide. Now, this is going over what bounties you might want to hoard and what bounties you might not want to hoard, what activities you might want to do and what things not to do. So it's his prep guide, but I thought I'd throw it in there because, as Respawn said, we've got about 6 weeks left. So you can be slowly doing these and hanging on to these to help you get a boost on your battle pass or your season pass for next season, which will help unlock your artifact a lot quicker. Now, as we have in previous seasons, you don't get given your artifact until you've kind of completed, I believe it's like the first or second mission. Normally, you have to kind of do the first mission, go back to the tower, and somebody goes, here you go, here's an artifact.
There is a mission to get the artifact. Yes.
Yeah. So the best thing to do is go and play it until you get your artifact. Then start popping all your bounties that you've kind of saved up, which will then kind of increase your XP.
Don't be like me, one of the seasons where I did not that.
Yeah, I mean, it will still increase your XP and unlock your battle pass, but when you come to your artifacts, you'll go, well, hang on a minute, I've got all this XP on my season pass, but nothing's happened on here. It's not retroactive. So wait until you've kind of got your artifact, and then you're kind of good to go, basically.
It's a lesson hard learned. Hard learned.
It is indeed. But I think that's it for me for videos this week.
Nice.
And yeah.
And I only had the one, so I'm good.
You did good this week to actually include it and put it in the show notes.
I did a thing.
You did. I'd already done the thing, and I didn't want to spoil it because I thought, oh, we've put effort in.
I did a thing.
Yeah. You did
I participated. Moving on.
I did want to just kind of put it out there that we have got an upcoming tripod. Now, this is a podcast that we do with our other two affiliated, or I say we're affiliated, we just kind of all talk together. So this is Guardian Hub podcast and the Guardian Down podcast. We're all going to get together on the 18th of February, I believe, bar one of us. One of us decides he wants to go on holiday.
And
the
the
rest
thing
of us
about
will all be there.
Not like you can't bring your laptop on holiday. Like, what the hell? Whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever.
But we should all be there on the 18th. I think this is going to be once we've got all the information about the Witch Queen, because this is going to be 4 days before the Witch Queen, so we'll have quite a lot of information to talk about, and it's probably going to be what we're excited about, what we're looking forward to. What
the last one was 4 hours. No, what was it, like 4 to 6 hours long? I can't remember. It was 4 to 6 hours long after editing.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna be streaming it live on that day. So
somebody will be streaming it as well.
That's going to be happening. Yeah, it's just look. I know a lot of people come to the stream, and that's great. But you really want to see a stream that is just all kind. Y'all thought it was good with Deacon here. When all 9 of us get together minus one, it's ridiculous. It's gonna be bananas. So definitely come hang out for that one. I will be answering questions. I will be presenting you questions to everybody else, and it's going to be chaos, and I love it. So definitely show up.
Yeah, I mean, the last time we did do one was just before Beyond Light. So to give you an example, if you want to go back and listen to that one, it's on all our channels. That we did have a slightly different version because I think I edited out all the swearing, and then I added like what we kind of do normally, giving people a bit of Bungie Destiny information before the week ahead. So we had a slightly different version to the unedited versions that I think the other two guys put out on their feeds. But yeah, if you want to go back and check any one of those out, feel free. But yeah, that'll give you a kind of taste of I say it's going to give you a taste. It probably won't give you a taste of what's going to happen. This time it could be all up in the air. Who knows?
I hope so.
It's going to be chaos.
To be wild. Yes. Absolutely.
So if we can, we might put something together just to add on to ours again, just to give you a bit of information of what's coming up. If we do know anything that's coming up, because there may not be what's coming next week in Destiny, there may not be an Eververse, there may not be, I doubt there's going to be a Lost Sectors section because that should stop, and there'll be new Lost Sectors, there'll probably be some in the Throne World and on a different location. So until we kind of know that part of information, once the Witch Queen drops, I wouldn't be able to tell you all that, but we'll do our best anyway.
Which sadly is what we normally do, is our best, and you've seen the results. It's gonna be fun. So I'm good. Anything else to add?
Well, we did get some feedback this week, so
did we?
You saw these, didn't you?
All right, well, let's check that out.
We did. That is, I'm sure it's in our questions and feedback.
Feedback. Here we go. Let's go up, 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 up. Right about there. That's on the 8th. Anything before that?
Yes. No, that was it.
Yes. Before that. Okay. All right, so here we go. From Hollywood Zero, he says, "Great discussion. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the feedback." Blink
These
says,
are the YouTube comments.
Yep. Blink says, "Been listening for a couple of months now. Just wanted to say I enjoy y'all's show." Well, you know what? We enjoy y'all showing up. Keep it coming. I almost stopped the vid when I realized it wasn't Destiny talk. However, I stuck around and was pretty entertained. Sorry about the badger molestation, though. That's rough. And it's also from Blink. Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you're in England, weird things happen, dude.
It's not what happened.
That's not what we heard. Crusher701 says, "I love you guys' podcast. Keep it up." Well, we intend to. We just need you guys to help us increase those numbers so we can convince sponsors. Speaking of sponsors, I reached out to Black Rifle Coffee Company,
Did you?
like legitimately, to see if they'll sponsor us. It was only a couple days ago. I haven't heard anything back yet. But, yeah, I reached out to them to see if maybe they'll sponsor the show, and whether it's sending me in Peroty coffee or sending us all money. Who knows? Let's see what they say.
Yeah, they can send you coffee.
I would love this. Send me coffee. I spend too much money there. This is by Global Thermonuclear War. Love the name first. Second podcast now. 5-star rating. Listen, guys, and Deacon, I love this. I listen every single week, and I have especially loved the last 2 episodes with Deacon. And I just want you to know, I would 100% pay like $10 to $20 every month just to listen to all 4 of you every week to just ramble on about literally whatever for an hour or 2. I honestly think it would be a great idea to start a second podcast completely raw, unedited, and uncensored, and put it out on Patreon or wherever. So let's make it happen, please. Well, that is something we are actively working. Maybe not that exact idea,
Yeah,
but Peroty
not actively. We're thinking. That's as far as it's
Peroty's
got. We're thinking.
got the Patreon going. He just needs to finish it.
And I did pass your comments on to Deacon, who was slightly amused.
Slightly.
That's as far as we've got.
We need more stories from Deacon, though.
She's got stories. I'm not even giving you any hints because you'll ask her.
I have no way to contact her, dude.
Exactly. That's a good thing.
So how would I ask her?
You'd find a way. We did get one email this week from the Bergen. Sorry, the_Bergen. After an extended absence from Destiny 2, I've returned with the 30th anniversary. With the new dungeon and 6-man activity, I find myself actually wanting to play, holding new weapons like I'm the twin of Wilhelm. Your podcast has been the main connection to the game for the last few months that I've stepped away from, and I appreciate your enthusiasm and love for the game. If any of you need a Fireteam member that now crossplay is a thing, be more than happy to be a Huckleberry. PSN name, the_Bergen. That's with the 2 underscores. Oh, it's 2 underscores.
Yeah,
there you go.
Bergen, you need to come join our Discord, dude. Because most of the time, here's the thing: so many people reach out.
I will send him the link. I will email him the link to you.
But this is for everybody. So many people send us their usernames and gamer tags and things like that, right? Which, admittedly, I forget because I have literal documented brain damage. It's not a bit; it's an actual thing. So the best way for us to be able to hang out with you and link up and whatnot is to join. If you're not a clan member, join our 2 Titans and a Hunter Discord. If you are a clan member, still join the 2 Titans and a Hunter Discord, but also the Frozen Discord, because we're constantly posting, hey, looking for people to do this, looking for people to do that. Who's interested in this? Who's interested in that? We have rooms separated for activities. We got all that stuff. So best thing to do, come to the Discord. You'll see people actively asking for assistance. So that's the best way to do it. You send it. You can keep sending us your usernames and whatnot. Somebody might document it or whatever. Somebody that's listening to the show might reach out to you. That's fine. But as far as me specifically, and probably Peroty too, just because he doesn't have the time, we don't normally write all these down and then add all these people. It's better if we just reach out on the Discord, you respond to us, and then once we link up in game, then we swap friend requests and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely Discord first, than in-game friend swapping stuff.
Mm.
That came out so wrong. You know what I'm saying? Don't judge.
Okay. And that goes for you, Oscar, because I know you keep sending me emails every now and then saying what's a good time to raid. Just jump in the Discord, and I know you're in the Discord because you said you got the link. Jump in the Discord, just hit Respawn up because he's the easiest one to kind of get hold of to do a raid, especially if you're in America. I'm less likely because I play at very weird times. So,
Yep.
but yeah,
And the best way to get in touch with me is to @ my name or @ here, because so much happens in our Discord. I tend to mute channels unless somebody @ me or the here thing, right?
yeah.
So yeah, do that if you're looking to get in touch with myself, Peroty, or Nitedemon specifically, because, like I said, we meet a lot of the channels because there's a lot of nonsense that doesn't concern us. So @ us directly or do the @ here thing if we're online.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So we'll hand it back over to our virtual Peroty to end the show.
And cue robot.
No, not a robot. He's a virtual. You're the robot. You're robot.
I'm the robot. Am I? Damn it.
Mhm.
And I was so sure I was sentient.
So this is where I slightly preemptively say thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Nitedemon. Your hunters no one responds in real life.
What up?
You can shoot email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. Find us on Twitter at twotitans_hunter. We're on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and all the places at Two Titans and a Hunter. We're particularly on Spotify if you're looking for the soundtrack. Just find us. You'll have a better experience. You can find all your favorite Guardians out there in the world, in the tower, dancing, trying desperately to see the color bars of things with a gray on gray color scheme.
I feel attacked.
Go on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and everywhere fine podcasts are sold. Watch the show on YouTube this week for Nitedemon becoming increasingly angry at two people trying to make jumps through the Glycon. And remember, kids, troopers go wee! And with that, gents, say goodbye.
Deuces!
Hey, stop it. You don't get to do that.
Double attacked.